Right.
You're all vagrants.
Now, welcome everyone. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. This is a general meeting of the Waipuna Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board. The meeting is live streamed and recordings will be available on the Community Board's YouTube channel. Now, if you're sitting in the public gallery, thank you for attending. We welcome your interest in our discussions. Please note that the public gallery should remain quiet during the meeting. Toilets are located in the corridor just outside the meeting room. And in case of an emergency, please exit by the door at the back of the room, one by one. There are 2 staircases to exit the building. Please follow staff directions in the case of an emergency. Now, just so you know, we have done our opening karakia because we are just continuing on from our meeting, which started at 2:30 this afternoon. So we'll move on from the karakia and move on to the apologies. There are no apologies. All of us are here. Any declarations of interest? None? Cool. And we move on to confirmation of previous minutes. Do we have a mover? Luke, seconded by Andre. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Now we move on to the public forum. I see we have a full gallery right now. Welcome to everyone. Before we start the public forum, I would like to introduce the community board members to all of you. So we'll do it in one sweep so we don't have to do it every time somebody comes to the table. Start with Mark.
Kia ora, I'm Mark Peters, Councillor for Hornby.
Debbie Mora from the Hallswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board, Hallswell Ward.
Andre Moore Hallswell.
Luke Chandler from Riccarton.
Sarah Brunton from Hornby.
Kia ora, I'm Tyler, the councillor for Riccarton.
Frank Berg from Hornby.
Helen Broughton, Riccarton.
And I'm Marie Poliesco from Holesville. Right. So we have public forums are designed to enable members of the public to bring matters to the attention of the local authority. A person may speak for up to 5 minutes on any issue, idea, or matter relevant. The first one we've got is the cycling priorities in the community board area. May we please call on Ann Scott and Chris Horn from Spokes Canterbury, submissions coordinator. They will address the board regarding cycling priorities in the community board area. Welcome.
Have we got the presentation?
Yes, hold on a second. No,
It's only PDP.
it's all right. You may.
Kia ora koutou for Ann Scott Tokuinga. I'll call Chris Horn Tokuinga. And we're here today to talk about a planning day that Spokes held in Tuaranga in March. Out of that planning day, we got 187 suggestions, of which 29 were specific to the Waipuna area. We have prioritised those for each community board, and we're looking really at safety and smaller issues at this point in time. We'll took to the top 3 today and some extra 3 priorities, but we hope at some stage we'll present the whole thing to the community board. We've also looked at the Love to Ride data, which tells us which people feel comfortable or not comfortable riding. Next, please.
Next 2 slides, because that was what you spoke to.
That's what I spoke to. Next one, please. So the first priority that came out of our discussions was the upgrade to the intersection of Division Street, Dilworth Street and Maxwell Street. What we really want is a safe connection from the Southern Express to Riccarton Mall. Spokes has looked at it, and the preference is Division Street because it has low traffic and it's the easiest connection. But there are some other options as well. The current refuge, if you see the bottom right picture, you'll see it's quite some way away and is actually hard to get to, just beyond those women walking. It's hard to get to if you're a cyclist. We would like staff to have a look and see if there are particular options that they could improve this particular intersection to make it easier for cyclists. There's an option below that could be one of them. A roundabout might work. or there might be some other things that staff have. So we would like you to ask staff to investigate. Next slide, please. Our second priority is safety improvements on Chalmers. Chalmers Street. Is there a problem?
Oh, no.
No, keep going. They're just,
The questions.
they've got questions. I have to write it
Safety
down.
improvements on Chalmers Street, the Hornby Hub and the rugby club. There's actually a really great path from the South Express, which ends just before the car park for the rugby football club. Cyclists then weaving through vehicles to the mall entrance. It's unsafe, particularly there's a lot of children coming through there from the schools coming through to the mall. The entrance has 2 car parks entrances, which then converge. And it's really, really difficult. The footpath is too narrow to take both cyclists and pedestrians. And if you're going south, there's a curve in Chalmers Street, which means you can't see until you get really close when you want to turn right to go towards that particular path. The other thing is that a lot of cyclists are using Ames Road, Goulding Ave, Chalmers Street to avoid the Shands Road, Main South Road intersection. So it's actually busy right down to the road. So we would like you to ask staff to look at ways to improve safety in the rugby club car park. I think it's council owned. And the entranceway and in Chalmers Street to make sure that there is an ability for cyclists and for pedestrians. It's equally difficult for pedestrians to get where they want to go.
Thank you, Anne. May I just remind you that your 5 minutes includes questions from the board, and we have 3 lined up already.
Priority 3, please. Next one. So the next one is the shared path along Kashmir Henderson's Road from Penduddock Rise to the wetlands entrance. The Henderson Road has no path on either side. It's dangerous for cyclists and pedestrians. I know it's right on your border, but the path has to be on the Waipuna border. There's good support from the community. The path in the wetlands goes through to Sparks Road to the Quarryman's Trail, so you can get further into Hornby and Hallswell. And long term, it should connect up with Punawai. Next, please. So we've got 3 others. So Waimari Road, on road cycle lanes, which I think you were about to talk about and then didn't, between Riccarton Road and Mainstone Road, which was approved in 2020 and still hasn't been done. The Hallswell Hornby cycling connection, we'd really like a separated cycleway between going down Awatea Road, half of which has already been done, Ames Road, and then through into the Hornby Mall. But it can then spread up. And to extend the Quarryman's Trail along Sparks Road to Horswell Road, or at least to Sutherland's Road.
Already done.
Good, is it? Oh, good. Questions?
Done. Questions. All right.
You can read the rest.
Yeah. We will get a copy of it anyway. We've got Tyler, Luke, and then Mark.
Just for Anne's recommendation to pass on to staff to take a look at.
Okay.
That's all right. Do that.
Recommendation to pass on to staff to look into.
The three priorities.
All of it.
So can I just clarify so that it is in the plans to put a cycleway on the other side?
So there'll be shared paths on each side of the road, built as part of new developments over the coming months. Yeah.
So can you just specify the 3? So
Maxwell
Trey
Street?
doesn't have to look for it. Maxwell.
Division.
Yeah, it's Maxwell Division.
Maxwell Division.
Chalmers.
Chalmers, Hornby Hub.
Chalmers, Hornby.
And Alyssa Andrews one's done. Yeah.
Kashmir Henderson's Road.
Yeah, it's on the new footpath program.
Waimari cycle lanes.
There's 4.
Horswell Hornby cycle connection.
5. 6.
And just check the Quarryman's
6.
Trail link to.
It's not a trail as such, but as new developments are going in,
Yes,
as part of their consent conditions,
that's
will
right.
be new shared paths on each side all the way going down Sparks Road.
But it is dangerous.
Okay.
And if we have one that's delayed by a decade, we'll be.
So just
Yeah,
so
they're
you
not allowed to
know,
build the developments without this work.
there is a report coming back to the board on the Waimari cycle route at the next meeting,
Well, I'm not sure. If it'll come
but
to the next
it
meeting,
is coming soon.
So,
Right.
So I'm sure it's in a minute.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Chris.
Questions for investigate road improvements.
Cycling.
Safety. Yes. Maxwell Division, Chalmers, Hornby Hub.
Good time,
and
I think it's user safety. That way it'll help it be more holistic, which includes cyclists.
Pedestrian and cyclists. Yeah.
Road
The-
use are particularly pedestrians.
And the Division 1, never mind.
I was going to say, let's incorporate it
And
in
it's
the wider
just
Westfield
Maxwell
review.
Division, Chalmers,
Oh.
Corby Hub.
They'll probably come back to that.
I guess, and some confirmation on the Henderson's Cashmere.
Henderson's
It-
Cafe.
It's in the new path program. It just needs to be prioritised as part of it.
Is that a joined community board one?
Okay,
It's a Christchurch
move on
wide
to the next
program for
is
Christchurch wide.
Holesville Matai and digitalization projects by the Holesville Residents Association. May I please call on David Hawk and Adele Jaggs.
Yeah.
Kia ora koutou, as Sarah has just said, it's going to time. So I'm Treasurer of Hallsville Residents Association and Adele is the Secretary. So she said she's had a dreadful week, so I'm getting off and she'll come in after me. So we're not asking you to do anything today, so you can sort of sit back and relax a wee bit. And, but what we wanted to do was just sort of update you on a couple of the activities that we're involved with. And what we want to do is to sort of set a big picture as to the way our Residents Association sees, in particular, heritage. So what we see is our Matai project, which I'll talk to you about in a moment, Anzac, and some of the sort of more colonial era material that Adele's going to talk about. So we see this as a really holistic sort of approach to heritage. So the penny dropped, I suppose, that the board was really instrumental in helping us get our Matai project off the ground a few years ago, because they funded, or you funded, a couple of radiocarbon dates. So this is material that was this is material that was dug out of a new subdivision development on Quaifs Road. So most of the material that was dug out was actually stumps, but we got some stem material. So this is died 600 years ago, came out of a 300-year-old tree and was buried in an enormous flood on the Waimak. So we're using this material as a deep time heritage, I suppose. And as part of that, we're using this material to go and talk to all sorts of people. So we're working with Hillmorton High School at the moment, and we're working with them in an installation there. And I was at Addington School this morning with some other material, talking to them about some of the, again, the sort of trees and the ages of them and all that sort of stuff. And the project is just ongoing, and it's one of the things that you get is this sort of material. People just are quite taken aback by it. It's quite graphic, I suppose. Yes. So that's pretty much the Matai project. As I say, it's an ongoing project, and we're not asking you to do anything at all.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it fits into, as I said, it's the old end, and the more recent sort of thing that we're looking at is the Anzac commemoration, which is a really important thing for us too. And then in the middle, if you like, time-wise, is the what we're calling the John Moore digitalisation. Project, which Adele has been involved with, and she's going to talk to you about that now. Cool.
Right. So John Moore is a long-term resident of Hallswell, and he's connected with lots of other long-term residents in Hallswell. And over about 50 or 60 years, he has collected a massive amount of information about Hallswell, about the rugby club, about the tennis clubs, and about various families who lived in the area. And he has over 25 of these folders. Now, some of them are full of handwritten information. Some of it's been written on a computer, but the digital file's long gone. And some of it's typed. This particular file is all typed. Wow. There are photos, there are family trees, family stories, stories about houses that are no longer in existence, about farms, so many photos of older residents of Hallswell when they first arrived. The earliest story I've got is from someone from the 1830s who came to Hallswell.
Wow.
So this is a massive collection of information and history. So each of these pages needs to be individually pulled out when I scan them. As you see, they're double-sided. So I literally have to take each page out and scan them through individually because the glare from the plastic sleeves affects the scanning if I don't. And obviously, this is history that John Moore doesn't want getting lost or damaged. So there is a lot of love and care going into this. Each folder is about 100 pages, sometimes a bit more. And one folder takes me about an hour to scan.
Wow.
So it's a big project.
So one of the things that's also come along for the ride is some strips of negatives.
Yes.
Wow.
And they again all have to be scanned. So we've just had a quote on that, and I think 3,000.
3,300 to get them all scanned, labelled, and back to us on a USB stick, basically.
So it's a really big project, and as I say, it's something that we actually at one point John Moore had asked the City Library to do it, but it actually went nowhere. So he then came to us and we picked it up.
Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome.
Thank you. Sorry, no time for questions.
That's all right.
Thank you very much.
Probably the best lesson for it, Adele. But, wow, that's amazing. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Well done.
But if you're looking real unimpressed with it, that's right.
We've got one last group for the public forum. We've got Ben Carter from Hornby High School. Come forward, please. Welcome. You've got 5 minutes, including questions from the board.
So kia ora koutou, my name is Ben Carter, I'm from Hornby High School, and one of our wonderful students here, Michaela, has joined me. They've been working for the last 6-7 weeks on a project to address the safety concerns outside of our cooler with the crossing. It's currently not fit for purpose, but they've put together a bit of a video edit which will run to 5 minutes, so they can enjoy.
My name is Matt Maynard, and I'm the Deputy Principal here at Hornby High School. Look after the wonderful young people here.
The aim for this interview is to raise awareness around student safety and encourage change. How safe do you think the courtesy crossing is for students?
The courtesy crossing is currently not very safe. So I'm out there on duty a couple of times a week after school. And we have 1,000 students here at Hornby High School. And they all out there at the same gate. That courtesy crossing within about a 7 or 8 minute window. So you get 1,000 students hitting that crossing, and it can be fairly chaotic. Courtesy crossings that cars aren't actually legally obliged to stop; they just carry on. You get some really heavy trucks coming through, and it can be really dangerous.
Have you ever seen any close calls on the incidents during the time?
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly the big trucks come rolling through down the road there. There's students that have been, waiting to cross, but because there's 1,000 kids coming through, there's a bit of push that happens, a bit of momentum that builds up behind. And those kids at the front can get awful close to being pushed out onto the road. Because the trucks aren't obliged to stop, but it's trying to run along through. They absolutely near misses. Very close to being. If we didn't have staff actually going out into the courtesy crossing at high lids and typically stop a lot of traffic, we would have accidents.
Hello, please introduce yourself.
My name is Max Selby, I'm a teacher at Hornby High School. My jobs is to gate and morning.
What's it like being out there during peak times, like before and after school?
I do before school every day, and I do after school some days. It is actually quite stressful for staff to keep an eye on that. Since 1,000 students in that school, like about 900 and that's a lot of students and a lot of cars.
Hi everybody, my name is Lydia. This interview is aimed to raise awareness around student safety and encourage change. So today we're going to be interviewing Miss B on her opinion.
I think we should have lollipops. So like the things that have schools where you pop them out and actually physically stops the cars. That way students have like a visual way of seeing if they should go or not. And cars normally is one of they should go.
Introduce yourself.
Kia ora koutou, my name is Laurie Tafar, one of the deputy principals here at Hornby High School.
I'm Nevaeh Tutuba. I'll be interviewing Ms. Tafar. What's it like being out there during peak times, like before and after school?
Yeah, but before school's not as bad because students come into school in a staggered way. So that the biggest problem would be after school, where we do seem to clear the school in about 10 minutes. So we have 1,000 students who leave school in about 10 minutes through one exit point. The biggest, yeah, it's just really busy. Our students are really respectful and kind to the staff because we have been working with the community to get them across the road safely. But yeah, it's this. I think one of the biggest concerns that I have as well are the big trucks that come through, which some of them are double loaded, and that's quite a concern at that time of day to come past when it's quite a close environment with cars parked on either side. So yeah, it's really busy. Lots of unsafe practice, but just lots of kids that we're just trying to get across that road to get home safe.
Would you support a petition to get a real pedestrian?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the crossing of student safety?
No, I think I've said everything. I just our students. We do clear the school quite quickly, so it's a really short turnaround. I think the location of the current crossing is not ideal with how we exit the school, and I think any improvement would be appreciated and valued from our staff and student body.
Thank you for taking the part of this interview.
5 minutes exactly. 5 minutes exactly.
Right. Thank you for that. Now I understand that council transport staff are already aware of the issues out here and they are looking into it already. But thank you for bringing it to the board's attention.
Thank you.
Right.
Great video.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
And make sure you continue to do so, because sometimes, just every now and again, the board needs a helping hand to remember.
Yes.
So it's good to come back.
Yes.
Don't be shy.
Thank you.
Don't forget.
So now we're moving on to the deputations. We have a number of deputations here on the Holesville Quarry dog exercise area and two others of a different topic. We have here in order as they came in. I would just like to ask Carolyn. We're happy to move to the group of the speakers for the exercise area. And I'll let the two other topics come through first.
Oh, I see what yeah.
You're happy to, because you're first on the list.
Not happy particularly, but I understand democracies in action.
Okay, okay, thank you. I'll have first Cody Cooper for Woodram Road and Hatton Road intersection layout updates. And I will appreciate if you could please stick to the topic.
She knows
and
it too
it's
well.
only on Woodram and Hatton Road. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. No, thank you. Hey, look, really good, and you know, it's in front of the board again. It's not necessarily a bad thing, I think, because there's been a couple of amendments to make it things that people are happy with. I did put some questions to staff. They were around the pavement quality in that area is very poor. They came back to me and said as part of this will actually be resurfacing the whole lot, which is amazing. I also indicated that there was a pole in the middle of the crossing in the northeast. They've said that that pole will actually be moved now. So it will mean that when it's built, hopefully it's a design that will actually work for everyone. That's great. But I still can't understand that the path as proposed will be built on the north side. So on the south side, and I'm not sure, Maria, if you're able to bring up the actual drawing that's on the agenda item.
Thank you. 71.
Thank you. So they've said that they're going to build the footpath on, well, the shared path, sorry, on the northern side, and it's not planned on the south side because no one uses it, modelling suggests. And so just go back to what the previous speakers have all said, which is that we don't feel safe using these places because of how they are. So I'm not surprised to see that. Sorry, I think it's a. Keep going.
71.
Yeah.
Page 71.
It's the attachment for approval.
Oops, well, there it is. There we go.
Right, so this is the drawing. And so when we look at this, what we can see is quite a number of good improvements. There's some realignments and stuff here to improve visibility and so on. But the path that runs along the top is interesting because it's not immediately clear to me how that will fit on the bridge. And I imagine they must have measured it and it surely will. But the bridge as it is today actually has majority, let's say, free space on the south side. The only side of the road that's lit is the south side. The only way to directly connect to Little River Link MCR is the south side. So I said, for example, to staff, hey, it's going to be signalised. Can we have it like Blenheim Road that both signals will activate at the same time, right? And it actually speeds it up for cars as well, because you don't have to press it, stop the traffic, and then press it and stop it again. And they said there's not enough demand from cyclists. So, I mean, on the one hand, what I'm hearing from the staff and based on the modelling and so on is, oh, there's not enough demand to make these, I think, they're fairly small tweaks. But at the same time, they say, oh no, we need to build it, yeah, we'll get used. But I can't reconcile this. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And on the south, it's 660 metres for someone to have a safe crossing point. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that we build a path along the north. I really think that it should be along the south. I don't think it's a major change to make that happen. I mean, ideally, both of them would be built. And Andrea spoke with you earlier and indicated that, in time, I'm sure it will be part of a program. Yeah, if we're going to build it and we're going to build a combined sports field into a facility there, if someone wants to walk down to the cafe, Le Bakermans, that's used really well. For example, there won't be a path for them to do that. There'll be no pedestrian exit, entrance and exit from the top of that facility as well. And so the implication of that will be people are going to have to go onto Hatton Road, well, the Ngāpuna Way access road, cross at the lights, go all the way down, cross at the pedestrian refuge and come back again. Like, I don't know about other people, but, sports groups and stuff, you want to go and grab, drink afterwards or a pie or a sandwich, whatever the case is. We're just going to make it really hard for them. And I just feel like it's on the wrong side. That's all I'll say.
That's all.
Yeah.
You're good?
Thank you.
All right. I've got questions from Mark. Thank you.
So did you get an answer from staff around why the footpath's on the north side, not on the south? And
So the suggestion was primarily around the modelling that they've done suggests that current and forecast demand for pedestrians on the south side is very low.
Yeah.
So there are no gates or direct entries to new facilities along that frontage. If we're going to have a sports field there, why would we not have a pedestrian entrance? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's plausibly walkable for people in Woodram, but I mean, you're not even necessarily going to be able to bike in there. But meanwhile, they've actually added a bike crossing to the south, which is good, which then actually you have to go the whole way around to get in still.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this might be more a question for our staff, but we've repeatedly told when there's development being done that developers put in the footpath or shared path infrastructure outside their development. Here we are doing a development, but we're not putting in the footpath or shared path.
Leading by
That might be a
example,
good
right?
question for us to ask staff
Yeah,
later.
fair point. Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Thank you,
sorry,
Cody.
if I've got a minute or two to just down this one. So since this was a change from last time, so they've actually got a cycle crossing. So someone's coming from Woodram, decides, hey, actually I want to go somewhere. I guess it's probably actually more for people coming this way to go north, right?
Yeah.
It actually should. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And as well, if you also want to speed up these lights, because I was driving here today, my partner dropped me off. Traffic backs up big time. We know that. If we want to take an extra cycle out of this, then I'd say give people the chance to cross down here as well. It will actually speed up the lights.
Cool. At least the road platform's no longer there.
Well, there actually is
I've got a resolution.
All right.
Thank you.
for cyclists. Right.
Thank you. Any other questions for Cody? Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you.
Next, I've got Waipola Skate Park Renewal Design Renewal, Mr. James Harris.
Hey.
Welcome, James.
Thank you. Yeah, James Harris, CDN Trust, lead the team of youth workers. Range of things we do, but we have a youth center up front of Wyola Park. About 5 years ago, 2021, I think there was a bit of a, not an outcry, but a bit of a issue with the park not being that safe. A few things came up. Really a shout out to the staff and this community board back then to put some plans in action. A lot of work got done, including changing some of the plants in the park to create visibility. Visibility was one of the big issues, and so that got solved largely. Also some cleanup, also getting some groups like Barney Gators basketball, Epic Sports doing some good stuff down there. So lots of great work happened. And that also was part of kicking off the renewal of the skate park. So really awesome to see that underway. Awesome that it's gonna happen. Love the plans overall. Just wanted to speak to a couple points on that plan. First one being visibility. It's been designed really well for good visibility. And I just noted that there's a couple options there because of feedback around that skate bowl. There's quite a bit of nostalgia around that skate bowl. It's been there for a long time, but it doesn't create good visibility. And so if those options were accepted to keep the skate bowl, I think we would have ongoing issues with the visibility, which isn't helpful. The other two things that I hear from young people using it, one is that it gets glass in it and it's really hard for them to come along and sweep out glass out of that bowl. And also kids use it differently than they did decades ago when that was built. They're mostly on scooters. I think the new design is fit for purpose where the skate bowl probably isn't so much. So in my opinion, if there was keeping that skate bowl to some degree, possibly chopping it in half so half of it was kept. I don't know if that's realistic, but I like the new design. The one other thing I wanted to say, most of the playground at that end of the park does need to come out. It's got some issues, but the swings are really well used. Quite a few kids come along, sit, chat. In my opinion, the swings probably just need a coat of paint and could be kept. The rest of that probably needs to be taken out. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. That's it.
Thank you, James. I've got a couple of people who have questions. Mark and then Luke.
Excellent, thank you. So I'm gathering from your deputation that you're really stoked to see this coming through.
Absolutely.
And that you're, pretty happy to see the bowl, which is, as you said, nostalgic, come out.
Yep.
And interesting comments about the swings. You'd be keen for us to try and find a way to perhaps maybe not keep those swings, but maybe get some more swings in there instead?
Either way, I actually wonder, do they need to come out? Has it just been assessed as the playground overall rather than assessing each individual piece? I do wonder whether a decent coat of paint would allow those swings to stay. I know there's a budget that was a challenge, but.
Well, we can ask the staff later on that one. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Mark. Luke?
No, basically echoes what I've said. So you're in support of obviously removing the bowl, safety reasons for the most part. Nostalgic's not really necessary to keep it, do you think?
That's my opinion, but yeah.
Thank you.
Great. I've got
backlash on
Sarah next.
Thanks, James. And so just to clarify, the students that you see using or potentially going to use it, their feedback has been really positive.
Yeah, it fits also with what we did some consultation over a few scoops of chips. And initially when, this 5 years ago, and the things that they were asking for, this fits really well with what they were asking for. And I'm also really stoked to see there's a rubbish bin. The new rubbish bin's been placed right there as well. We did a bit of consultation around how far they would walk to a rubbish bin.
Zero.
For some, it's 0 meters, literally, and some it's 100 meters, but it's good placement. I think it's been well designed.
Right, thank you. I've got Hank.
What's the surface of the bowl like at the bottom? Because I understand there's some cracking and some. So if we were to ever keep it, we'd have to resurface it. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
That's my understanding. I was hoping you'd know
I
more.
see in those options that there's like a partial renewal option or a full renewal. I don't know fully, but it doesn't feel like it would be fit for purpose, even if the money was spent on it.
Not fit for purposes,
In terms of-
safety-wise, or because people don't like it anymore? Some people don't like it anymore.
A bit of both.
Yeah.
No, it's probably a question for staff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, James, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, James.
Appreciate it.
So I've got 5 deputations on for the Holesville Quarry dog exercise area. And I'd like to welcome Carolyn Potter first off. And I'd just like to acknowledge and recognize Carolyn. She is the retired chairperson of the Spraydon Kashmir Community Board.
Yes.
Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you. One should not live on past glories.
But they should be acknowledged for all that.
It's very kind of you. Thank you. I've walked in the quarry most days for more than 20 years. Becoming old is a hard transition. For years, when you're not old, you assume that you never will be. But then one day you are. And suddenly you're in that group of people whose opinion isn't heard and not asked for, and whose mana has slipped just a little. We seek some compensation, and mine, like many others, was to walk in open spaces, to see the mountains and assess the snow levels, to listen to it, birds, and watch the birds. And I found that in the quarry with my dog, as have many other people. We have 2 paddocks. There's a heck of a lot of quarry which is not dog and should not be associated with the dogs. But we have the 2 paddocks. The top paddock has an incline, which makes old people feel as though they're keeping fit. And it has some lovely views of the mountains. When you get to the top of the incline and you sit down on the park bench that has been carefully placed there and look at the mountains, you feel great. You do feel great. Other users are cyclists, for instance. This is a track to the hills. It gets the bikes to a place where they have fun. The top paddock is not a means it's a means to an end for cyclists. It's not something that is used by cyclists at all. They just traverse it to get to where they want to go, which is the hilltops, through the fence and the gateway at the top. There are a few runners and walkers without dogs whom you might occasionally ask Where is their passport? That's a sort of joke. You know, if you've got a dog, you're not there, you shouldn't be there. But they are few in number. There are, and then there are the dog walkers. For us, this is a space in the day when we laugh and talk with other people whose names we do not know, but whose dogs' names we do. We talk of dogs and politics and gossip. We look at the birds and the trees, and we look at the Christmas decorations the Rangers put up for us. Though they missed last year, I say, with sinister intention. Sorry, I can't even read my own writing. It is sanity and friendship and equality and quite a lot of community too. The proposal is to fence us in with big fences. If I wanted fencing, I'd go out to the groin. Fence us in and take the upper paddock away from our free dogs and therefore us, and leave it to the cyclists and the runners who are on their way to somewhere else. I want you to look at this sign. Is there a way of putting it back up, play it? The full sign. This is, if you can run it down just so it shows the Selwyn sign. Just one more bit, space down. No, down. Taking the, yeah, up there. This is the sign in the new little dog park outside of Prebbleton, put up by Selwyn District. There is no such thing in the whole of Christchurch, and indeed Canterbury, that I've ever seen. It is a responsibility to pick and dispose of dog feces, keep dogs under effective control, use a muzzle, and it tells them the fines that will be inflicted if they don't. There is nothing like it in any of the dog parks that I've ever been to, and there is no signs that are visible to tell people what they are to do with dog feces. This is the Selwyn size for dog owners. We have nothing like it for our dog owners. The City Council has not attempted a change of culture and behaviours around dog ownership. It should be said in all the ways that there are that dog ownership is about picking up shit and making other people do it. It should not be left lying around in bundles, sometimes, in absolute bundles like it is at the quarry. They should be a short, sharp campaign that tells people to behave or else, and the else should be overt and emphatic, and the signs large and authoritative. I don't think it would take very much to help develop a culture of care and attention, especially if ordinary people were told what it's like for volunteers to work in dog poo. We used to have in the quarry a group of intellectually disabled kids who would come and do plantings periodically. They can't. They just can't. There is too much dog poo that their hands get into, and other volunteers say the same things. And the rangers want us to address it, and we should damn well address it. We shouldn't tolerate it for a single second. I do know that the loss of the quarry, but I do know that for me, the loss of the quarry and being behind fences and others will be heartbreaking.
Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. Questions from Andre and then Luke.
Thanks, Carolyn. I knew it was going to be a great deputation to deliver. You've made your views very clear on enforcement and fencing. Are you able to just share your view on the accessible walking tracks?
Oh, you mean disability?
Well, part of the plan is new accessible walking tracks throughout
the rangers have done, and I don't know who's responsible, but the rangers have done such an excellent job on the track. For instance, we've got a track now up on the left-hand side as you face the hills, and that you can't see from the other track. It looks like it's pure grass. Yeah. It's magic of design. And this is a wide track with that tiny, tiny shingle, I don't know what it's called, which is accessible. And because the park rangers have always indicated to me who's interested in this subject about disability accessibility. They have been thinking for years about having a track that goes right round that can be used by wheelchairs, etc. And the City Council's reputation and indeed actions on disability is disgusting. They have got no reputation at all other than negative on disability access. And this would be wonderful to be able to say that we could walk there with or without dogs and use those finely grained tracks, which are wonderful. That's another reason I want to say about the cyclists. The cyclists apparently say that they collide with dogs. Well, I don't understand that, because the new track that's been put in up top there is wonderful, and there's no cyclists allowed on it.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Luke.
So you're in support of not fencing it up?
Yeah.
Do you have a view on staff advice saying they find it very difficult to manage dogs in the park due to the complex layout?
Oh, I see what you mean. So that there are dogs running free and there are many areas.
Yeah, I guess we could have a sign like this, but without enforcing it, then who's there to?
I can understand
punish them, I guess.
I do wish we would have a little bit of a campaign which didn't involve the current, for instance, park rangers, because they've got a lot of on their hands. But I wish that we would, along with the campaign on dog shit, I just wish we would do something about indicating to people that they can't casually walk their dog off the lead in these areas, and they're going to be fined, and then fine them. I just think that wrecking what the quarry is, and with its massive reputation in the community and the love that people have for it, I just think fencing it off so that we can get the baddies is not the right idea. Why don't we get the baddies?
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Helen.
Yes, have you any idea, Carolyn, over how many people think the same as you? If you're having chats with people,
all the dog owners. I think there's a lot of people who think the same as me.
Right.
There are other people who would not. I think that if we complied on picking up dog poo and got those who are taking their dogs off lead into other areas, including the picnic areas, I think if we complied, that there would be less tension between the groups. As it is, because of the new pathways, the dog owners actually have not felt the tension. We feel free. I feel great about being in the dog park because I have not noticed any great tension. But for those people who still don't like the dogs, then they should be able to have those areas, many of them, there's a huge number of those areas, besides the two big paddocks, that should not, where they should have no fear of dogs because they're on leads.
Okay.
Under effective control. The council, this Christchurch City Council has done nothing about dogs being under effective control, except go out at midnight and collect a couple out there at Brighton.
Well, I've walked in Hagley Park, and you're meant to be on a leash, but some aren't. There, so.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you for your time. It's great to see you guys in action.
Thank you.
That's
All right.
in action.
Next, we've got Pam Morgan. Welcome, Pam. You have 10 minutes, including questions from the board members.
Okay, thank you. I've written a lot of mine out because I'm obviously nervous about speaking in front of all of you. So I will probably read quite a bit of it and try and look up when I can. So my intention in coming to this meeting is, while acknowledging those affected by some of the behaviour of the dogs and their owners visiting our wonderful facility, we must make sure when assessing the changes suggested that the park retains its original intention to accommodate all people who want to visit and not restrict any cohort in the main areas. Before discussing the proposal set out by the current council, I believe it is important to reflect on the historic nature of the park. Hallswell Quarry was purchased by the Christchurch City Council in 1925 and was run successfully until 1990, when the reserve of usable rock was exhausted. The council then decided to restore the quarry as a passive recreation reserve, wildlife habitat, and an educational resource. As stated in the council website, this area is not a designated dog park. And it is expected that dog owners will keep their animals under control at all times. On the webpage, there's a map available showing other places that have dog and exercise areas in the city. Since we purchased our home in Kennedy's Bush some 6+ years ago, we've seen the continuance of substantial planting in the area and the park being very well used. We look down on the park, and I cannot think of a time when, even during the COVID pandemic, when in actual fact it became even more popular, we have not seen someone walking in the park. I've witnessed the park being used for weddings, birthday parties and other celebrations, being used for large group meetings, medevac training by helicopters, regular orienteering events, school walks, school cross-country prep, Crusaders training camps, walking groups, mothers and babies groups, coffee groups, petanque groups, visitation of large numbers during the cherry blossom season, and the area also accommodating the movement of bikers who use the established trails on the adjoining Van Ash land. Dogs and their owners have become regular visitors. It is fair to say that the park is a shared community facility and is currently meeting its original mandate. The intention as a passive recreation reserve has proved fruitful, and the proposed changes I see as disestablishing this concept. Why do I say this? Let's look at the proposal. Over the past few years, we've seen an increase in the number of people using the park as a dog walking area. Complaints have been received of dog owners not respecting the park by ignoring the requirements in some areas of having their dog on a lead, of dog owners not picking up their dog poo or leaving the dog poo bags on the trails, of dogs scaring the sheep in non-dog areas, and of dogs going missing. Let's be clear. As pointed out on the council website, the area is not a dog park. More importantly, it is the dog owner's responsibility to ensure they look after their dogs and clean up their mess, and to not take them off the lead if they are not absolutely sure their dog will behave. It is certainly not the responsibility of the ranger, the council, or the wider community. Dog owners need to do better. The change of fencing off an area for dogs to be off the leash seems to be at the expense of walkers. Having had a dog and regularly walking our daughter's dog in the park, I understand how people enjoy this freedom for their pet. However, fencing off a major area that is used by other members of the community, like schools, orienteers, or walkers, to accommodate a few dog owners who do not respect the facility seems extreme. I'm predominantly a walker, and I object to the idea that I may have to walk around a perimeter or go through at least 2 gates in an area I have enjoyed walking freely on. Let's look at the aesthetic of the park. Currently, we enjoy a park that is open, a reserve where people have full access. In fact, very similar to Hagley Park, where dog walkers and bikers and pedestrians all share the facility. To me, Hallswell Quarry Park is the West Side's equivalent. Let's keep it that way. So what have other areas in Christchurch and the outer perimeter done to accommodate dog owners? There are fenced areas all over the city. Horseshoe Lake, 6 Mill, Victoria Park has small fenced off spaces that dogs can run freely in. The Goins is probably the largest dog park and has numerous fenced off paddocks. I've taken my daughter's dog to all of these parks, and despite the areas having fences and gates, have heard of numerous complaints of dogs getting out and people not picking up their poo. So one needs to ask, what are we actually going to achieve by changing the status quo? Very little, I would suspect. For those living in the Hallswell area, there's also a reasonably new place, Kakaha Dog Park on Ledley's Road, close by, in Prebbleton. This area is a designed dog park and is fully fenced for both small and large dogs. Why should Christchurch City Council spend significant funding, looking at estimates around 400k, and reduce a natural park when there's already a dog park established and with an easy reach? Looking at the staff report at the bottom of the agenda of this meeting, I noticed the anticipated costs in the change in the bike park will be over several years. Part of the plan, mainly walking areas, is not fully funded. For those of us living in the area, we're going to have disruptions over a long period of time, and our options to walk will be significantly reduced in this area. This seems totally unfair to me. Looking out over the park each day, I see in the main, people are walking in the park. They may have a dog, they may not. The majority will be disadvantaged because a few dog owners are not looking after their pet or doing the right thing. I also noticed as part of this proposal there is to be a change in the horse paddock area. I agree there is little use of the horse paddock in its current form. I also agree that sometimes during winter this area is very wet. However, the substantial rain earlier on this year also saw the current dog area underwater. Over winter, it is expected that these areas may from time to time become waterlogged, just the same as our lawns and our properties. I'm not keen to see this area planted in kahikatea. Apart from a substantial cost of approximately 60k without counting the volunteer man hours, it should also be noted that residents already have substantial issues with yellow pollen from trees in the area during the months of spring and early summer. It covers our cars, our decks, basically any area the wind takes it. For many, it is a health issue. Asthmatics and allergy sufferers find it particularly troublesome. More planting will add to this. Also, during the Port Hills fires, this area is used for refuelling for helicopters. The open space provided easy access for collecting water from the ponds. For those living in the area, it was a welcome sight to see the ponds being easily accessible and available to these much needed aircraft. This area is also often used as an extra parking area during large events and for major planting days. For these reasons, ideally, I would not like to see changes to the space. Should the council decide they need to repurpose this area, then surely it would be better suited to be fenced off for dogs, if you must. Like Sticksmore Reserve, the main part of our park will be maintained for walkers. Bikes will still have access to get to the trails, dogs in the lead will still be able to walk the park, and the fence area will be to the side of the main facility, having less impact for all those that use the reserve. The cost will be substantially less. People walking anywhere other than inside the fence area with no dogs had to be on a lead, and the current natural environment of the park will be maintained. In conclusion, my view is we should maintain the status quo. If that is not possible, then consideration should be made to fence off the horse paddock. To this, would have a less impact on the community as a whole, and the bulk of the park will remain a nature reserve as was its original intention. Thanks for listening to my concerns.
Thank you, Pam. I think we have time for one or two questions. And then Helen.
Okay. You say the area is not a dog park, which is fair enough.
It states that quite quickly in the council information.
So how do we get from that to a place where dogs are allowed to roam freely, as in the current park?
It's not evident in any of the information that I could find in the council database.
So what's the answer? Put all dogs on a lead and have no free running space for the dog?
I think there is meant to be, my understanding is there is discussion about there'll be a look into a southwest or something new dog park.
Yep.
So given that is a likelihood and we're looking at where that may be, I'm hoping it's not going to be in the quarry. And therefore, as a result of that, there's no need to do anything to the quarry.
So you're suggesting at the moment, until that decision is made, to leave the status quo?
Definitely.
And to let the dogs run free?
Well, the dogs, as it stands now, under the council laws, the dogs are allowed to run in those two spaces, providing the dog owners keep them under control. If they're not keeping them under control, then they should.
And that's according to the council?
Yep.
And it's also according to the council that it's not a dog park?
Yes.
To my little mind, that seems a bit contradictory. We have dogs running around places.
That's probably
a question for staff.
It probably is.
Thank you very much. I think we've run out of time already. Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
It's outdated. They just need
I think I've missed somebody else, but we have 6 deputations on the Hallswell Quarry
Thank you for that.
Exercise area.
Yeah, Corinne's
I'd like to
policies.
call on Kate Bobby.
Is the answer no
If you can please come forward.
on this?
You tell me. You tell me.
Welcome.
You tell me.
Right.
Put them on the lead.
All right,
Sure, you go.
we've got Kate now presenting. Thank you.
My name is Kate Odie and I've been a resident of Hallswell for over 6 years. And I'm opposing the construction of the dog fenced area in Hallswell Quarry. And I'd like to open this opposition by quoting from the current Hallswell Quarry Management Plan, Objectives and Policies for Landscape Character, section 1.2. Protect views from within the park to and from the quarry rim. Planting on the inside of the rim track and western flank of the quarry has largely been completed, and existing trees and shrubs will be managed so that they can continue to articulate and frame views to the quarry from the rim track. I've spent over 20 years working in environmental management, which has included creating management plans, and these have had to consider historical and landscape impacts before management options were selected. Hallswell Quarry is a unique park, and I'm not aware of any other dog parks in the city except for perhaps Victoria Park that can be viewed from above. It will be impossible not to impact on the landscape value if the fenced area went ahead. In the submissions received, 21% were noted to express concerns on the amenity value and purpose of the park. I would be interested on the council's view on how this policy would be upheld with this proposal, or would it be removed from the proposed management plan review if the dog park went ahead? Selecting another site for a specific dog park in the community region would address this concern. My second point is in both the submission for and against the proposal, 47 submissions directly referred to enforcement related concerns, whether it be dog fouling, dogs not under effective control, or dog aggression. I would urge the community board to review the council's statistics on the enforcement of dog related infringements related to those criteria I mentioned within the city in the last 5 years, before deciding on such a large investment in what many believe to be an unnecessary infrastructure. How much revenue has the council received from fines, and how much would it be to cost council staff to enforce these fines? Soft signage policies are not proving to be effective, and the small population disrespecting the rules, though there's very little chance of there being a negative consequence for their actions. I sympathise with the rangers and volunteers who are working in the environment where dog feces have not been picked up, but having visited several dog parks, this has not eliminated this issue, and I'm horrified to see the volumes of feces in a concentrated area. So the park rangers will still have to deal with this issue when they maintain the fenced area, unless, of course, enforcement addresses this. Whilst I still use dog parks, they do provide some concerns for safety for dogs and children due to the enclosed nature. My dog was in fact a victim of a dog attack at Rangiora Dog Park, where the owner left and I had to cover a $700 vet bill. Animal control could do nothing because there is no effective way of identifying dog or owner. I, however, feel more confident in avoiding attacks in the quarry because of the space and the ability to change routes from dogs that look like they may become aggressive. This leads me to my final point, which hasn't really been covered in the report: personal safety and increased crime. My family has walked in the quarry at least 5 times a week for the last 6 years. Over that time, we have witnessed or heard about several criminal activities, for example, drug use and vandalism. The most recent was someone cutting down a fence and a small tree in broad daylight. The current park allows me to move freely to a different area when I feel threatened. However, such a large fenced area would limit my escape routes. I'd like to know how the council proposes to address these risks. Would you be installing cameras and more patrols to the areas? I therefore urge the community board not to approve the dog fence at Hallswell Quarry and instead focus on identifying a suitable new site for a dog park in the region. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy for questions.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got Helen.
Yes. At present, dogs can go free of their owners as long as the owner believes they can manage them. So is one of the answers that the dogs must be on a leash? If we had signs up like that?
I don't believe a well-trained dog has to be on a lead if that owner has the skills to control it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Some don't.
my dog doesn't have good recall, and we always walk her on the lead. But part of the problem is that people go there and there's no consequence for their action.
Yes.
Maybe that the lady before mentioned a campaign. So a campaign, at least as a start, but there should be some follow-through enforcement. A sign saying you're going to be fined X amount of dollars doesn't prove a threat.
And do they still have a ranger at Hallsvell Quarry Park?
Yes, they do, but it's not their role.
It's not their role.
Sitting right behind you.
The agenda over there.
Right. All right.
She
Any
doesn't
other
know.
questions?
Okay, thank you.
For
Thank
Kate?
you.
All right. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Great.
Next up, Gareth. Gareth Popplestone, please come forward. Welcome back.
I haven't read your
How many
summary.
times before I get a free coffee? I've got more handouts this time, so there should be hopefully enough for one person.
Clip your coffee card.
Did anyone not see my email this morning?
I haven't.
No, that's cool. We'll cover it now.
Seen it, not enough time to digest.
That's fine. I'll go over it now.
It's been a busy day.
Right. So what you're seeing before you, I went hunting around the quarry to look for the off-lead dog signs. What I managed to find is what you were seeing in red there. I understand that may not be what the intended area is, but based on the signs that I've found, it basically takes it from the creek to the horse park, to the top of the North Hill, and then the dog park, the mountain bike park. So all that area in there, based on the signs that you can find, and there's not a whole heap of them, and they're not always the most visible, that's sort of the area we're dealing with. Not everywhere, but there are some. So in terms of there's some of the orientation signs in here, you will find one in there. So that is actually technically included in the off-lead area. So
I'm sorry, which one is one?
sorry, little area in here.
Okay.
So yeah. So my understanding is that it's from the creek and north is included based on the signs. That may not be accurate based on what the council's saying, but the signs that are there, that's what it indicates. So the actual proposal that was put forward was disingenuous in what it actually said, that there's going to be an equivalent area. That's not correct based on what I've managed to see based on where the signs are. And I'd also note that the majority of people actually walk around the outside. The new proposal that's been put forward actually has a decreased perimeter while having a similar area to the yellow outline there. So it removes how people are actually using the area. Like myself, my dog loves this park. He's a spaniel. He goes around sniffing everything.
Yep.
Like he has a little bit of interaction with other dogs, but his main thing is sniffing. He doesn't like dog parks, so I don't tend to take him because he's not there to play with other dogs, he's there to sniff things. So having the freedom to go in and out of the trees while in the off-lead area is fantastic. But I'd probably note that the enforcement is probably the biggest lacking thing here. We'll often do a loop of the quarry rim first, and the number of people there that don't have their dog on lead is shocking. They just don't care. There's no consequence to it. So why, when there's no consequence, why would you bother abiding by it if you don't have to? That was sort of the key points I sort of had in addition to what everyone's already said, so I'm not going to waste your time going over the same points over again. In terms of, I know Andre raised on the community page around interactions with the mountain bikers. One of the potential solutions I'd note, which is a path in blue there, past the Chinese gardens, there is actually a four-wheel drive track that goes down into the valley. So there's potential that we could have the mountain bike track dedicated going down there and then cutting into the main entrance, which then would completely bypass them having to go through the dog park and also off-lead area in the first place. Cool.
Any questions?
Any questions? I've got Helen.
Yes, so your position is against the
Keep it as it
fencing?
is. Don't change it. Keep it as it is. Don't change a thing.
As is,
As
the
is,
current
yep.
park.
Paths and everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to upgrade the path, it's fine. The new path that you've put in has been fantastic, especially for winter. But in terms of like the, shall we say, the theme of the off-lead area, keep it as it is. Andre?
Oh, I was just going to clarify, sorry, you do support the new accessible walking paths?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, sorry, yeah, cool.
Paths
Yep.
are all for, like, in terms of like the vibe, the theme, how it's been used currently, keep it as it is.
And presumably you support the new dog wash station.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. The spaniel will find Mother Sahara.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a tap with the mat, yeah.
Is there anywhere in the park you would having dogs in a fenced area or nowhere at all?
Not for the quarry, because there's not really anywhere you can kind of do it unless you're going to then take over another area, which I'd hate to do. Like there's a picnic area over by the toilets. Amazing. Like I've seen families there, I've seen them take barbecues in, they're having a great time. That's exactly what they should be used for. I don't want it to be taken away from that. It's more, it's possibly up the signage like the campaigns that have already been said. Make it really clear that this is off lead, this is on lead. We're not dicking around here. So if you do want to push the rules, here's the consequence for it. Yeah. Cool.
Right, so look, you've had your question already. Anybody else? Right, thank you, Gareth.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gareth. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
And next, we've got Ken Austin. Please come forward. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you.
Right, you have 10 minutes, including questions from the board.
Thank you. Well, I'm just here basically as a ratepayer. My background is road safety education and teacher and a father to three. My concern is that, as the lady so rightly pointed out, I live in Hallsville and it's really nice to go down to the quarry. I'm not opposed to dogs, but I did a Google search because part of my history is you do the survey. There are 14 other parks in Christchurch. We don't need any more. And if Hallsville Quarry is not designated as a dog park, then I don't think dogs should be there. I am totally opposed to anything being fenced because people don't respect fences, just like bus stops. You know, when are we going to get to the realization that people smash the glass? Just put metal up there, but that's aside. And if you're going to go into a dog park, you can't get out without going out the proper way. They'll go over the fence or wreck it. It's a waste of our money. And I know each year my rates increase dramatically. And as a ratepayer, I object to that. My question would be that, and I've listened to the other speakers and I'm going to go a bit off topic. Do you ever do a survey to prove what you're going to do is the correct thing to do? I don't think you do, because I've seen evidence around the city and I've brought up other things with this nice man who tolerates me. You need to do a survey. Part of my background was you surveyed the problem. And if the problem exists between 3 o'clock and 3:15, it's not a problem. I'm getting off topic, but I'm just saying you're spending money without proof of problem. You're doing these whimsical things and it's intolerant. So basically, I'm opposed to the dogs in the quarry because it isn't meant to be there, which I learned from that lady. And dog owners are quite mobile. They can go to various other places. So no fence, save the $300,000. We don't need a dog wash or anything like that. And just as a side, if you put rubbish bins in, people don't use rubbish bins. They just throw it on the ground and then someone's got to go and clean out the rubbish bin. So there's a move against rubbish bins because then you encourage them to take it home. Dogs on leash, I've been watching in the last couple of weeks. Admittedly, when we were growing up as little kids, we did have dogs and whatever, but most people walk their dogs around my area on a leash. I had an occasion to see where two came to the same place at once and there was sort of this aggression and, you know, dogs are dogs and they were going to have a piece of each other. I would like to go down to that quarry with my granddaughter who's 4 years old and have a peaceful time without having to worry about dog attacks or that sort of thing. Thank you.
With that, thank you. Any questions?
I don't need questions.
Yes. Andre, please.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Around a fifth or less of the cost is the fence itself, and the guts of it is the tracks, accessible tracks.
Right.
Do you have a view on those and making the quarry more accessible for all with those?
Well, I haven't been down in the
Yeah.
winter time because I don't do wet. But
Yeah, sure.
basically, there's that new wetlands just nearby, which is beautiful. But I mean, if you are going to upgrade the tracks and make it more user friendly and accessible, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
but I'm
sure.
not happy with
Understood.
anything other than that.
Cool.
Fences don't work.
Okay.
Right, thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
Much
Thanks for the question.
appreciated.
Thank you.
And I appreciate this young man. He's the only one that I see proactively doing things.
Come to all.
Just as well as you can.
He's full-time for that.
No, he keeps us totally informed.
We are now calling on next for Will Bartlett of Ototahi State Association. Come forward, please.
Dog park or no?
Yes.
No.
Oh, this is Waipuna Skate Park.
Go for it, son.
Right.
Can I go now
No,
or
no,
go?
I think you're the last one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I missed that because
If you've got a views on the dog, park, feel free to say that.
I'm happy with whatever you guys think.
Sweet, perfect.
Got a couple notes. Yeah, I'm well. I've lived in Christchurch for over 10 years now, and in recent years, been trying to help City Council offering advice and helping design to quality and various factors. Because basically I got annoyed with my mates complaining about everything. So I thought I'll be proactive and I'll try and help everyone out. So yeah, 100% support the Wyola Skate Park's mission. It's a great initiative, great for mental health, exercise, getting kids outdoors. Hopefully you see a reduction in youth crime rates. I think that's probably a key motivator in getting something there. From the people I've spoken to, some were concerned the old bowl was going to go, but I think youth worker guy had some good points. He's probably there a lot more than we would be skating it on. And if he's there weekly, he knows what goes on. Happy to support that motion as well. And yeah, the concrete is rough, but it's definitely not the worst in Christchurch. There are a couple that are worse. Just the general feedback on design. A lot of people I've spoken to are generally happy. There's a few small tweaks that could be made to make it a bit more user-friendly and a bit more effective, but that's about it, really. It's great that it's happening.
There is a bit of room for that in the design, I think, isn't there?
Yeah.
For it to be tweaked up.
Yeah, it's only minor things that would make it just a little bit better. But yeah, it's a great concept. You know, I might get there every 4 to 6 weeks if I'm lucky.
Thanks for that, Will. Do we have any questions for Will? Yes, Sarah.
Do you want to elaborate on those slight adjustments?
I don't have any desire. It's more just around how things work in a certain way.
I just worry because it's going to come into us today. We'll be voting on it, and there may not be any allowance for adjustments. But I don't know if the state of the piece we can probably do much anyway. Oh, we can.
Yep.
Oh, is it helpful to hear this now?
I have heard it before, but
if you've heard it, then that's fine.
Yeah,
for public to be good.
We're working together. It's all
awesome.
good.
Cool.
That's the whole purpose.
Right.
Just coming in to show my support, and
Right, thank you.
that's it.
Great.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, if I might address the gallery, because people come in and they want to speak, and we do have a sign-up sheet if you want to speak. So did I miss anybody who wanted to speak and who wasn't able to sign up? Paul, please come forward. Thank you.
I didn't sign the sheet, but I did send an email saying that I had put in a submission, and when I didn't get the link that I was going to attend by thing, I hopped into my car and came here in a hurry. I had a screen to talk about the dog park, but I think the ladies have put it across so well. I don't need to go there. But as a resident who sits on the boundary of the quarry and watch people walk every day through the paddocks, and particularly the sheep paddock, I'm appalled at the enforcement that is not in place. Dogs are off leads even in the sheep paddock, and it's unacceptable. It's quite clear in the Hallswell management plan what people are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do as far as fencing and everything else. But also it's about the areas. I have no problems, and I walk around the quarry from time to time, probably not enough, but I'm quite happy with the dog exercise area. And that area down there on the, whatever you want to call it, the left side or the east side, is away from where most people walk. But I must admit, the cyclists, the orienteers and things like that who walk through that area do have to put up with the dogs that are unleashed in that area. And that's quite acceptable. If you know that, you don't go into that area. If you don't like dogs, you don't go to that area. And I think most people know that. But what I'm really appalled at is there is no enforcement. There is no crime that the crime that's been committed, even in sheep paddocks, is not being policed. And in 21 years that I've been sitting there watching, there would be at least 2 or 3 instances a week with irresponsible dog owners. We have the good dog owners, but we have this crowd who we're trying to pander to if we're going to go down the fence line. But I think after today, I'd be horrified to think that we were going to breach the management plan and put a fence where it's not necessary. So thank you for your time. And I think it's been well put by the previous speakers.
Right. Hold on. Hey,
I had a question
hold on,
for
Paul. You've got questions. So I've got
just
one
run away,
from Helen and then Luke.
Paul, one of our previous presenters said it was defined until 1990 as a passive recreation reserve. Has it been redefined?
In 2008, we had the City Council took submissions on what should happen in the park. And as a result of those submissions, and about that many, they produced the 2009 management plan, which is available online. And in there, it basically said that when considering the installation of any fence, give preference to alternative approaches that do not require them. Those that are needed must complement the park's existing landscape character. This is an area which is unique to Christchurch. It's a conservation area. We have the quarry buildings and things like that, but the area was to maintain its farm-like character and flavour. And that's all built into the plan, into the management plan. And I just think that that plan's as good, although I must admit I had slightly different views in those days, but I think it is very applicable even today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Was
you,
this
Paul.
behind the
Luke has a question for you.
So you're not in support of fencing this off, and do you think it's a minority support for fencing it off, or is there a majority support?
Well, I actually did used the the figures that you said what we've listened or something.
Yep.
We've listened to you and you produced this, and there were key points there that you made. And I took it that the numbers that were beside the key points indicated the replies that were either in favour of that key point or against. And when you add that up, your numbers saying that 48% were don't add up. It's 33% against, 33% for and 66% against using your figures. So I couldn't work out, because there's nothing there that says how you deduced that 48% were mildly interested in supporting the campaign. I think even today indicates that there is a huge swell of opinion against any fencing or any type of structure like that being put into this conservation area.
So part of that is, I think it's like 53 people that mentioned had concerns about reducing the amenity and recreational value of the park. Is it fair that they could be in support of this fence still, or is it fair to say that probably not?
No, I felt, using your points, the council staff's points, 66% were against it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Right. Right, so that's all.
Good to go.
Is anybody else, did I miss anybody else who wanted to speak? No, all right, great. Thank you all. On presentation of petitions, we did not have any, and so we will now move on to staff reports. And first up, we've got the Holesville Quarry Dog Exercise Area. May I please call on Caitlin Ellie to come forward, please.
Just signaling, I'd like to move a resolution that I'll email to board members now.
Yeah, we will, yes, we will take questions. Now,
Yeah, cool.
we will hear staff,
Yep.
and then we will have questions, and then we will adjourn.
Thank you.
Oh, so there's Caitlin plus
Crystal and Gage.
Crystal and
Nigel.
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 Welcome.
Thank you.
Here's the ranger, Helen.
Right,
Not right.
so you now. Presentation. Okay. We'll just get there.
Firstly, just introduce ourselves, I guess. So Caitlin, I am the planner, and then we've got Nigel, who is on the ground in Quarry as a ranger, part of the regional parks team. And then we've got Crystal, who was heading engagement as well. And we've also online got Lionel, who is manager for animal control.
If I could just say, I'd like to thank all the deputations. They all spoke really well, and Karen is a good friend of the quarry. And I agree with pretty much everything everybody said. It's highly valued by the community, and it's a unique park. The reason this has come about is because there's a problem that I can't solve. And I see all the different user groups interacting around the park, and my job is to make everybody happy. Not always going to work, but I do my best, and as council we do our best. And I'm just seeing that the dog thing has become a problem because it is so busy and there are so many dogs, and that percentage of people that don't do the right thing, as Paul said, is increasing. And so I'm getting families coming up to me saying, I won't come to the quarry anymore because I can't have a picnic without dogs tearing around. Or, I see people getting attacked and annoyed. And with talking to animal control, which ultimately, as Paul suggested, is one of the answers, it's really hard to enforce it as it is, because there's bits of land all over the place. It's difficult. And the fence was one way to clarify it, like in there is one thing, outside another thing. So I'm not, like I say, I've agreed what everybody has said, but I'm trying to find a solution to the problem, because I'm aware that education and signage hasn't worked. Sorry, I'll shut up now.
No, you keep going.
Keep going.
I was just signaling that I had a question for later. Okay.
Do we have any luck with it?
It's
Yeah,
it's up,
share with
but
the live
just,
stream.
sharing.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah.
Got my next screen. Yeah.
us.
Awesome. Happy for me to? Yes, so yeah, go on to the next slide. Thanks, Faye. I won't spend too much time going over the actual proposal because I understand you all have read it pretty in-depthly. And everyone here as well sounds like they have too. Just can flip to the next slide. Just want to give a bit of the, Nigel's already mentioned a lot of this, but the context behind. And really the big one is the significant increase in visitors to the park, especially since, I know that the management plan was 2009. Since then, there has been
Can I just say something? I think we're having technical issues, especially those on Zoom. We can't share the screen. So, but it's up.
I can talk to all the points.
That's fine, I can see it.
You can see it, we can't see it.
On my big tin can.
We get some questions on the main.
You guys just continue.
Just continue. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, around that significant increase, obviously there's a lot of development going around, and as Nigel has expressed, that a lot of the people using the park with dogs live in the area. They're coming directly from their houses. There is also, you can ask a question. Just on to slide 2, thanks. I think we're just going to go like this so that nothing. Yeah, sorry.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No, second slide, thanks.
So back 2 slides.
I feel like we have gone
Next
through
one.
all of this.
Yep. That one?
Yeah, awesome.
Brilliant.
All right. So over the years, we've had a lot of requests to manage dogs better in the area. Then the rangers, where Nigel can speak to this, around the dogs getting lost, and they're often found in areas outside of the actual exercise area that is currently existing. And there has been incidents that Nigel has witnessed himself that has led to injury. And one of the really significant issues as well is dog felling. I know you're all aware of this, but basically Nigel is dealing with it on a daily basis, and it has meant that a lot of volunteers can't actually go in there and plant anymore because it is just too much of a hazard for the staff. And then this was already mentioned before, but yeah, the animal control, and luckily we have Lionel online for us to speak to this as well, but due to the complex layout, it is very difficult for them to manage. If you don't mind going to slide 4, thanks, Faye. Just very quickly go through this as you're all aware. So the exercise area versus a dog park. So the main difference of what is already existing and what is proposed is not a dog park. A dog park would have agility equipment, have a lot more facilities within inside the area, whereas a dog exercise area is just empty. If that clarifies that for you.
It helps.
Yeah, awesome. So what's proposed is just an open space within this area.
An exercise area.
Yes, an exercise area, not a dog park. Just to clarify that. And then again, the paths we've talked about, it's thankfully sounds like a lot of people are in support of this, and allowing the accessibility to have a 2K loop would be absolutely fantastic. Going on to the Tier Forest, originally this was actually planned for this area back in, I can't have the dates on me, and given it is very wet, low-lying, flood-prone area, this is perfect for this type of plant to grow. And then going down to the dog wash station, dog bin and drinking fountain, I did want to note on terms of the rubbish bin that yes, Holesville Quarry is a rubbish-free park under the council policy. However, a dog-specific bin is still allowed within the policy. A few other things I just wanted to also touch on was around the management plan has been mentioned a lot in regards to perceived conflicts in regard to some of the policies. In terms of the fencing around the landscape character, these will be designed in a way that it's still like a farm fence to fit in with the character of the park. And then this management plan does actually mention around community requests for a dog park. I know it's kind of touched on people perceive dog parks and dog exercise areas as the same thing. And the management plan talks to monitoring this, and that use is set to dramatically increase, and that it's necessary to monitor the shared use environments and manage the area. And the boundary of the shared use area could be better defined to avoid activities straying into parts of the park, set aside for passive recreation and picnic. It does note that fencing is not desirable, and I think we can all agree that ideally it would be great if we didn't have to, but this is unfortunately the reality and the issues we're faced with, and this is one of the solution we see that is potentially going to be best fit. So I want to pass over to Nigel. Just anything else you wanted to touch on before we go into consultation?
No, I think you've pretty much covered, Kate. And that's, I mean, I had never wanted to put a fence there. I mean, to be clear, I mean, 15 years ago, this wasn't a problem because there were not that many people using the park. So that proportion of people who didn't do the right thing was pretty small. But, in the last 5 years, the population around that area has really increased, and it is a really busy park, which is fantastic. It's probably the most diverse park we have. I mean, a cross-section of people that visit the quarry is unmatched anywhere, and we've got the sister gardens, which add another element to it. And so my job is to try and recognise problems and mitigate them as best I can. And to give a small example, I was in another area of the park the other week, and there was a young man with an intellectual disability, huge dog, runs over, jumps up on him, and this guy's screaming and screaming, the owner's nowhere to be seen. And I thought, well, this poor kid, and the carer now is going to think, well, I can't bring this person to the quarry anymore. That's just one example. I could give you 1,000 others. That's what I don't want to happen. I want everyone to be able to access and enjoy the park. And I can see this currently we have an obstacle to that. And that people, constantly come to me saying, I will not visit the park. And I'll be quite angry about it. I can't come here anymore because I can't have a picnic. And so I'm trying to see a way through this. And if I thought education and enforcement was possible to solve this, great. Because and animal control have been great in our discussions. And one thing they've indicated is that if it was a more clearly defined area, it just makes their job easier to enforce. Because if you're in there, fine, your dog can be off lead, elsewhere it should be on lead. And that's how this has come about, really, just in my efforts to try and things harmonious.
We'll just briefly touch on the consultation. So if you could skip to slide 6. So I won't go into this too much because obviously it's all in the report, but I just wanted to touch briefly on the numbers. I know one of the deputations asked for some clarification around the numbers of support. So just to clarify, the numbers in this chart here, so the yes, somewhat, and the no's, are a tick box that people do when they fill out the form. So there's no way that these can be misinterpreted. So this is the number of people that said yes, the number of people that said somewhat, and the number of people that said no. Then people are able to make comments, and some people do and some people don't. The comments that are made are what is outlined on the page with the numbers next to them of how many people said whatever that comment was. So yeah, we've got an overall of 48% of submitters saying that they were in support and 14% saying they were in somewhat support. A lot of them made some comments within their submissions around why they were only somewhat supporting. Some of them were because they wanted to see, say, for example, more trees in the fenced area. Some of them were also of that, the thought of they were concerned about the visual amenity and those sorts of things. If you skip to the next slide. So these are the comments that were on our webpage as well. So the numbers next to these are the number of comments made in that theme. So there were 28 comments made that people believe that this would be safer for other park users. So I won't run through them all. They're all in the report. You can have a look at those. On the next slide is also the things that people didn't like about the plan. 254. Otherwise, I think we'll take questions.
Right.
And also, I'll just firstly also clarify that people who don't have dogs are still welcome to access the area inside the fence. It is not just restricting them to attack. Yes, but yes, obviously there will still be dogs in there.
Okay.
Right, thank you, Caitlin, Nigel, and Crystal. I got that. So we will now take some questions, and after the questions, we will have an adjournment before we go on the report decision making. I've got Tyler, is that correct? Got Tyler, Andre, Luke, Debbie, Marie, Helen, Sarah.
And did you read the name?
Yes, she read my name.
Right. Start off with Tyler.
Kia ora. I don't have any questions until after looking at Councillor Moore's motion. I just wanted to see if the board seen Councillor Moore's motion, if they wanted to move it through.
Okay, we'll skip that. Andre.
Yeah, just one quick question. Are you able to clarify what the dog control bylaw rules are for dogs here currently and what they may be after the review is finalised very soon?
Probably best to talk to Lionel, who's the animal control manager. He's online.
Good evening. Yeah, so the current rules are that the dogs must be leashed on the tracks going up to the dog exercise area.
Yep.
And then they must be under effective control once in the dog exercise area.
Gotcha. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, no further questions from me.
Okay, Luke.
Thanks so much.
We heard that there was some confusion around how some of the numbers worked out, and you clarified that it is a literal box ticking exercise. So of the 254, 48% of them said yes. But of the people that said no, is it possible that there is a number of those people that said it could make people safer?
In the no's?
Yes.
There was a very small number of the no's that were sort of in the no because I'd rather have more, or no because I'd rather have the space that's currently the dog exercise area. So in the proposal, it was the lower field as opposed to that top field.
Yeah.
So there were definitely a couple of submissions that said no because they would like to see the current area and they would be okay with it being fenced if it was the current area.
Okay.
But it was small, less than 5, I think.
And of the somewhat, there were people obviously that felt it might make the park safer, but I want more tricks. That's why I'm somewhat supportive.
Yeah, correct.
And in the consultation that you've sent out, that we consulted on, one of the fence designs was like a deer fence in terms of height, like the square netting.
No, it was never a deer fence. It was always going to be more
like this one here.
No, it's not. It's not. It was only ever going to be, like a normal sheep fence.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. And that was it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Luke. I've got Debbie.
Thank you very much for coming in, and thank you for all the work that you do out at the quarry, Nigel. You do a stupendous role out there, as we know. Just after your opinion about, so you're saying you'd like, correct me if I'm wrong, that you'd like to keep the quarry park as status quo?
In an ideal world?
In an ideal world, sure. But, or if we were, 10 years ago, maybe. But now it is so busy. We need a solution to this problem. And it is a problem. And it's a considerable problem that's just going to increase. We've got more developments over the road coming. Every one of those people is going to have a dog. That's right. A dog and a mountain bike. And probably a cat.
So is your consideration that it needs to be fenced?
My idea is that I need a way to control this. I need a way to stop people using the whole of the park as a dog park, because it's got a kind of reputation for that. The whole thing's a dog park. And dogs are just off lead everywhere. And we've honestly given up trying to talk to people about it because we just get abused. And that's not how I want to spend my day.
And not fair.
And I don't have power to do anything about it, and they know that, so they just abuse us. And I just want that family to be able to visit the quarry and have a picnic and not have dog charging around there off lead. And I need a way to do that. And the idea of the fence was to clearly define that area so that then animal control are able to help us.
So you're aware that dog users use many other areas of Hallsville Quarry as well, even around the crater rim?
They use the whole thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so it's more about dog control.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So just my last question is are you in support of the pathways and things like that that has been presented in the?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been trying to increase the accessible pathways. That's a big thing, and it's been great that things have been support for that. So, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And in the Port Hills, this is always an evolution in any park. We're constantly trying to upgrade paths, help accessibility. So no, that is a big thing. And just to go back, I'm absolutely not against dogs. I know more names of dogs than I do people that visit the park, mainly because I hear them being shouted all around the park. Where are you? And I'm aware that the dogs bring their owners to the park, but that's a good thing. They got to get their exercise, both of them. I'm just trying to. The quarry has a really nice, friendly atmosphere, and I want to keep it like that. I can see that changing if we can't find a solution here. Yeah.
Are you done, Debbie?
Yes, I am. Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie. So I've got questions for all three of you. Nigel. So you mentioned the issue has grown the last 5-10 years, and you mentioned that education and enforcement would be great if it worked. In the last 5 to 10 years that you've had this issue, can you tell us whether this education and enforcement has been done at some stage?
I can pretty confidently say that the people that are a problem absolutely know their obligations. We've got 3 big maps around the quarry. You've got to walk past them at every entry. And it's a clear map that shows this is the off-lead area. Everywhere else should be on lead. It also says there should be no dogs in the conservation area. People are aware of the obligations, but they're also aware that the chances of them being fined is very low. And so they know I have no power. And so I've increased signage. And I know people say we should have more signage, and Carolyn's right, we could look at changing the wording of signage, absolutely. But I don't see that. It hasn't helped us so far.
Do we actually charge them?
Sorry?
Do we actually charge them fine?
Yeah, we have had people fined, we have. But I know that's a really difficult job for animal control. It's a laborious job for them. They've got to find out who they are, and it's a tough job. I'm aware of that. And I've had meetings with animal control, and they've been great and supportive. And when they are able to visit, people do. Well, firstly, they come and attack me. I got a fine for having my dog. I say, yeah, good. So animal control have been great, but their resources are limited. When they visit, it makes a difference. And with social media, it's great because that gets around.
So you do agree that Carolyn's proposed signage that would probably?
I would absolutely be, yeah. I'd like to say, I've spoken to animal control and said, yeah, after this we'll sit down and review the signage and try to get the most effective signage we can. But I know, we deal with signs a lot in the Port Hills parks for all sorts of things, and people aren't good at reading signs.
Also, just to note, Marie, Lionel, the animal control manager, is online if you did want to speak to him as well.
That's okay. Hi, Lionel. But I don't have specific questions for Lionel, although in the proposed plan, there was nothing about signage. Did you have any?
Not included in the plan.
It's not in the plan?
It's in my resolution, though.
Right.
No, that is correct.
Yes.
At this stage, we weren't proposing any changes, but however that plan.
Oh, no, that would, if anything changed within the structure of the park, we would absolutely review the signage to make it appropriate for any changes that were made.
Okay, great.
Common practice for that.
Crystal, in paragraph 6.9.1 of your report, where you mentioned you sent an email to almost 100 stakeholders, I just wanted to check, did you hear back anything from the sister cities, from any of them?
No.
But they were included in those stakeholders?
We didn't explicitly include the sister cities.
But they are joining the proposed fenced area.
So our target audience was the users of the park, which is why we put signs up within the park. And we did a newsline story to target other parts of other people in the city.
I could speak to the sister city issue, and that's also, it's a big concern of mine. I work closely with the sister city gardens, and there is the Song Park Korean Garden is completely adjacent to the area, as is the Gansu and the Seattle. And I've had formal delegations in all of those gardens, and I've had just dogs charging up and down, and, you know, diplomats wearing their nice suits, and it's been embarrassing. And also those gardens, alongside those committees, I try and keep them to a higher standard. And so they are more formal. And again, it's not ideal that dogs are always tearing around them and destroying the vegetation and disrupting events that we have there. So there aren't any of the gardens that would be adversely affected by the fence. It would only help them.
Thank you. Caitlin, I understand the management plan is currently under review, to be reviewed?
Yes, so the management plan will be, the review will begin in about October, November this year.
October, November this year. And how long do you think that will take?
Roughly 12 months at least before we come back with something, but we can definitely keep the board updated in regards to that.
Would having this development or upgrade be premature in having the management plan if it's consistent? I'm just talking about consistency, because there people are talking about the proposal being inconsistent with the management plan. So is there going to be a significant change in the management plan?
That's hard to tell before we go out and talk to the community. I don't want to make any assumptions in regards to that.
My resolution covers that as well.
Yeah. But again, I mean, it doesn't directly conflict in terms of legalities.
Right.
Obviously, it does use the words like it's not desired, but this proposal could still go ahead, right, and not conflict the management plan. Correct.
All right. Thank you. I've got Helen, then Sarah, Mark, and then Luke.
Yes, I've got two questions. We had a submitter who I said to her, would you like dogs on a leash? And she said no, because she had a dog. Do we have a rule where they could be on a leash? Could we make a ban across the whole Holesville Quarry Park that dogs have to be on a leash?
That could be discussed probably at the review of the management plan.
But it can be done? I mean, I'm asking, is it possible?
There's a process involved in that.
Possibly as a question from
Okay.
Lionel, because it probably would need to be done as part of the bylaw review, which has already been completed. Because it's a dog exercise area identified.
Okay, because that seems a very simple one way of going. The kind of other issue is, I wanted to ask you, I went to the Holesville Quarry Park, and I think it was in this area which is now to be for dogs. And I went to in fact, a concert. That was my first introduction. Do you have concerts, and are they in this enclosed area?
No, we don't have concerts. They have had them in the past.
In the past, a few years ago.
Many years ago, but I think with encroaching urbanisation, concerts go down too well these days.
Okay, thank you.
Same as the explosions. They didn't like those either when it was the quarry.
Okay, thank you.
It's very quick.
Just checking with other members. There is a proposed resolution. If we adjourn now, or your questions, I still have Sarah, Mark, Luke, and Hank. Are you happy to delay or?
My question is very easy.
I mean, is it anything new? Is it anything
Yes, it
significant
is
that will
new.
change?
Mine's new.
Right, okay.
Mine will
Right.
probably be a yes or no answer.
Sarah.
You just talked about before about how there was going to be more enforcement if there was a fence. Can we get the enforcement now without a fence?
I didn't say more enforcement, more effective enforcement.
Because of the fact that it's a defined boundary?
Yeah.
So if we made it a clearer boundary, for example, every access point is like posts or something or other that notifies people you are entering the dog exercise area, you are departing from it, they must be off the lead. Would that help in enforcing?
Possibly it doesn't escape all the dogs that just escape and run. Get lost. I'm always looking for
But
lost.
I guess if we had that, a clearer definition around what's accepted and what's not,
Yeah, it would.
then it could be easier to enforce the dogs that are leaving, perhaps.
I don't think you should touch on it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Till the
Mark,
management
are
team.
you?
Yep.
Well, that's my resolution.
I can hear your frustration and really keen to find a way to work, with you to get this resolved, because we can't have you under that sort of stress.
Well, I mean, to be clear, it's simply because I've worked really hard in this park, as have all my colleagues, and I've had good support from my superiors and from council.
Yeah.
And it's a really popular park, and it has a really nice, friendly atmosphere most of the time.
Yeah.
And I want that to continue. That's what all this is about.
Yeah.
I want it to continue to be a friendly, relaxed park, but there's just getting more conflicts that I'm just trying to resolve.
So one of the questions I've got in my head is, it sounds like animal management, animal control are there. I would be hearing it's infrequently. It's not every day. It's not on a consistent basis. So would it help if, as well as having an assigned ranger for this park, perhaps we had an assigned animal management, animal control person to be your buddy?
I think I could be speaking out of turn, but I would think that this is not an isolated case, and there's probably 100 other parks with exactly the same problem, and so it would be an issue of resourcing. I would say.
Yeah, I can understand that, but even a better resourcing. That's something that maybe the council will need to think about.
No, absolutely.
100%.
Thank you, Mark, Luke, and then Hank.
Excellent. So we hear that this is potentially only needed because of the increase in urbanisation in the area.
Yes.
Do we know from a planning perspective if development contributions are going towards paying for any of this? If we're having an increase in building, those development contributions should be tagged to at least some of
That quarry was already there.
It's an unintended consequence.
No, they're not coming
Oh, we can get back to you.
Since this won't be a question for these staff, but
No.
there's a regional parks catchment for development contributions for something like the quarry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hank.
How many numbers attend the park? Have you any idea? Do you?
We have had track counters out there, but it's really, there are probably
Hundreds.
15 entrance points to the park, so it's impossible to gauge. But if you put on a graph, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, sure.
So it's rapidly increasing, but yeah, it's high. It would be the busiest regional park.
Probably, but your numbers are very low of responses. That's my concern. With a very low number of responses.
This consultation.
Yeah, compared to the numbers that you were talking about, like large numbers of people in the park all the time, and nobody's responding, so nobody's got a problem. Yeah.
Maybe most people.
Are you referring to the responses in the consultation?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a consistent problem we see across
It
our
is.
council
It is.
consultations.
Yeah, I know.
because we can't force people to make submissions, and as much as we'd like every park user to do so.
They'll
it is
let
quite
you know
difficult.
when we start work.
So maybe just for your peace of mind, the consultation page was viewed over 1,200 times, and the Newsline story that we published reached over 15,000 people. So people did know about the consultation, but obviously chose not to.
If they choose not to, we've seen what people who are passionate about viewpoints, they come here and tell us. And that's a very small percentage, and that's fair. But there's a large percentage of people that can't be bothered. The majority. And that, the vast majority.
Well, the majority
and
want
that's,
it.
that's my concern. Is
there a question?
Yeah, there is. What can we do to reach that majority who use the park and obviously couldn't care less? That's a nice.
Unfortunately, there's not much we can do to force people to make submissions. Yeah.
All right.
They tick the box saying they
Thank you, Caitlin, Nigel, and Crystal. I will now call on for an adjournment for 2 minutes. I will ask the board members to stay. This is only to check on the wording of the proposed amendment or resolution. Thank you.
Have you got it to wait?
I've emailed it to you as well.
Oh, God, thank you.
Right. Okay, back to our meeting. Now, we have a proposed amendment to the resolution. If you want some time to read through it, or do you want somebody to read it so everybody can?
Could we perhaps have Andre kind of
Andre.
explain it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just slightly reworded from what I've emailed to you. So it's going ahead with everything in the plan, accessible paths and so on and so forth, with the exception of the fences and gates. So we're about to do a quarry management plan review, and we'll consider a fence as part of that quarry management plan review. In the meantime, we're requesting staff provide advice to the board on additional enforcement options and resources to reinforce those existing rules. That could come in multiple different forms, and we should be considering all of them. And we're also requesting that staff come and brief the board on those issues upon approval of the new dog control bylaw, which the review will be finalised over the coming months, probably by the end of this year, I'd imagine. So yeah, but picks up on most of the feedback we received, leaves the door open to a fence without ruling it out altogether, and without us doing nothing when there's clearly an issue.
So if I can say, the black writing was the staff recommendation,
Yep.
and the red writing is what is added but changed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I need a mover and second. So it's moved by Andre, seconded by Debbie.
Yep, I'll third it.
And do I have any debate?
No.
Okay. So Andre started it, opened it already, and
Yeah.
then I've got Mark and then Helen.
Yeah, just briefly, look, we need a responsible dog owners to improve their behaviour and be mindful of others. Is what we need around here. We also need all users of the quarry to feel safe visiting the place. We do have a problem. That it needs to be accessible for all users, and I'm so glad Carolyn's made that point today on her reputation and accessibility. So I'm really stoked to see new accessible paths throughout this facility, which should be the priority for what we do here, is doing those paths. Enforcement doesn't necessarily work, but neither does a fence necessarily either. The Kennedy's Bush track is fenced and dogs are required to be on a leash. Right now we're about to go into lambing season. There's people letting their dogs off leashes all over the show up there at the moment, regardless of all of that, regardless of the fence. So there's no perfect solution at all here. The only stuff that seems to work, in my view, is that public, sometimes is that public shaming and perception, and people not wanting to be breaking the rules in front of others because they know that they're getting called out on it. We do need to be getting more resources. Nigel does an absolutely phenomenal job, and the status quo is not fair on Nigel and our range at the quarry. They're not. So we need to do something about it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be a fence. A fence is basically, it's accept and defeat that we haven't been able to manage this issue. So we should be trying everything we can, and that fence being a last resort as part of that management plan. This keeps the door open to a fence, but we can't be charging ahead with that without really good public support for such a significant community asset right now. And there is the need for a fenced dog park in the southwest. We are looking at that elsewhere, and elsewhere it should be. And there'll be people disappointed about a decision, whatever we do today, but this is the best compromise I could come up with. And I'm quite happy with it, actually.
I've got, okay, thank you, Andre, Mark, Helen, and then Debbie.
Is second to not get the second option? Okay,
No.
That's fine.
Excellent. Happy to back up Andre as the local councillor on this. I could quite clearly see the stress that poor old Nigel's under out there, and I don't think it's fair as a council to leave you under that stress. So I'm happy to see that we're leaving the gate, pardon the pun, but the gate open to actually address this. And I was quite serious when I was asking and questioning around getting a buddy in animal control to sort of, shadow. And maybe it's going to be a case of we need to do a blitz of, a few months to really get on top of this and get people understanding there are rules and you must obey them. So that we can get the dog owners back under control. And it's fine for the dogs to be in this area, but they've got to be under control. And we've got to make sure that the park is safe, not just for the dogs and the dog owners, but it's safe for the public. You can't have, children, you can't have people with disabilities, you can't have anyone fearing of using the park because of the out of control dogs. So I think what we've got here with Andre's resolutions is a good compromise, and I really look forward to the staff coming back with the advice at the earliest possible convenience regarding the dog control, extra signage, extra enforcement, whether it means we need to put some extra resource into the animal management area for a while so we can get on top of this. Let's have a discussion. Let's put this as high in the tree in council we need to try and get this actually getting a resolution to get this problem under control. It doesn't close the door on fence forever. I think it's wise for us to do that management review probably in the coming 12 months. Get to that. That might just highlight that, hey, look, a fence is the right idea, and here's how it should be done in a fitting environment for that place. But let's not put the cart before the horse and approve the fence before we've got this management plan review done so that we can get it right. So well done, Councillor Moore, for this. And I'm looking forward to getting this moving forward, and looking forward to seeing the advice coming back from staff on the controlling issue of this. Let's go for it.
Thank you, Mark. Helen.
Yes, I think this is good. I can't see how we can have a fence if we don't have a quarry management plan which supports a fence. So we have to go with the quarry management plan. The only concern I've got is number 4, request that the quarry management plan review considers possible fencing of the dog exercise area. I think we should probably leave that, but if we're going to keep it, I would rather have as a note that the board supports a fully fenced dog park.
No.
And it's potentially happening in 2027, is it?
Separate issue.
Bring it forward?
No, separate issue.
We've got to,
sure? Please stick to this one.
Well, would you consider that?
They know we support a dog park.
Put in forward.
They know we support it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Would you be happy to amend?
I'm really keen to move this resolution. It covers what we need to.
Okay.
Our views on a fenced dog park are very much known because we submitted every plan.
Yes.
And it's in our board
I'll
priority
actually
plan.
move we put 4, 5 and 6 separately. Thank you.
Very good.
I actually think we should not proceed with a dog park at this stage. We aren't at this stage anyway.
You mean
in 1 year's time? Yeah. So,
Can we pass it all in one go?
no, if one requests, you can put it separately.
Helen has asked that we put the
4, 5.
So
Or
1
4
to 3,
separately.
and, sorry, 1 to 3, and then 4,
4.
then 5 and 6, or do you want 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
5, 6?
no, I'm happy to have 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 and 4 separately.
What do we achieve by doing this?
Sorry?
What do we achieve by doing
It means
this?
that she can vote separately. That's what it is.
Shall we move on, please?
Yeah, I just feel very strongly about this.
I've got Debbie.
Yes, very quickly, thank you, Andre. I just want to also add that sometimes if we fence something and the owners of the dogs don't like that, then they will move out of the fenced area and then they expand further out. We already have dogs in the other areas as well, and ultimately is the dog owner's responsibility, and enforcement is seriously really important, and that has been highlighted as well. So I'm all in favour of this resolution by Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Debbie. And I must admit, when I read the report weeks ago, I was fine with it. I said it will help the park rangers and address the issues. But then as the days went by, I thought about it and I thought, but the purpose of the park was to be an open park. And a lot of the people were attracted to the park because of its values. And then I read through the Holesville Quarry management plan, and then I got conflicted. And then I read all the submissions, and then I came to this meeting. I was really torn, and hearing the people speak as well. But I think this amended resolution is a good compromise, and I'm happy to support it. Right. Thank you. So now
wrap up?
Yes, you have right of reply
Yeah,
from
just to
Andre.
wrap up, one other concern is that we just go ahead with the fence today and we're still leaving people high and dry and not providing enough resources to this area to manage these issues that will still remain potentially with the fence. So there's a whole lot of things we need to consider here at once, and I'm really glad to be doing so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Okay.
There's just 4 of them to comment on.
So, we are going to put the motion.
Moved Andre, seconded Debbie.
Yeah. Right, so this is now just for resolutions 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Now, resolution number 4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
No.
Do you want your
Yes.
recorded?
Vote recorded. The reason is I think putting me at
that's the vote's over. Sorry.
We'll do
Right.
that.
So, there you go. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Well done, team.
Yes. Well done. Okay.
Staff are,
No, just ask the board. Staff may have questions.
oh, for item number 17, item number 17, which is
Happy to move.
Holesville Domain, Holesville Cricket Club. Do you need staff?
No, happy to move.
Not yet.
That's right, we'll just carry on in
We
that
just-
order, but we're just gonna lose staff.
Okay, thanks, Steph.
Now
What
we'll go back
else?
to item 8.
Okay,
Thank you, Nigel.
Thanks, team.
Thank you, guys.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Right,
While we're
okay.
here, actually, can you ask
Have you told them?
item 18?
Item 18, do we need staff as well?
No.
Present for item number 18, urban forestry planting plan for Auburn Reserve.
Yes, you might actually. I've a few concerns.
Okay, sorry. Yep, noted.
So I'll bring that forward and let you go.
These other stuff, or every item.
Right, okay. We move on to item number 8, proposed road names, 201 Holesville Road, Halswell. Presenter is Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Sean what?
Sean's on, should be online.
Sean, Sean online?
Evening, everyone. Yep, I'm here.
Sean. Right,
Can we just move the options at Andres?
wait, we will need to hear from staff first
Not all
and
of
then questions
Not all of it.
unless.
We shouldn't need to hear
staff-
about stuff, it's road names, like we get,
No,
I agree with
Right.
Andrew on that.
we get
Okay.
them.
no,
So,
just move
There's the
what
road.
Andres
so
said.
take it as read.
Yeah.
I just have a
Sure.
question. Sean, propose names, numbers, what was that? What was that I said, Debbie?
201 Hallswell Road.
Road 1.
Is it this?
Item 8, proposed road
Item
names,
8.
201 Hallswell Road.
Item 8. So, it's 201 Hallswell Road. Sean, Road 3, proposed names Road 3 to Road 7. They're a mixture of street and road type. You see that?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Is there a policy that says we just use streets or we just use roads rather than a mixture of both street and road within one subdivision? My understanding, like 20 years ago, my son asked me, he was 5 years old, what's the difference between a road and a street? And I asked a transport staff, and my understanding, the explanation given to me was that roads were used in rural areas and streets were used in urban areas. And I looked at the policy, the naming policy. It's similar, but then the street identifies that it's used in streets that have footpaths. I read that street is a public roadway in an urban area, especially where paved and with footpaths and buildings along one or both sides. So what my question is, can we just have a consistent road type in this subdivision, or keep the name? That's fine.
Yeah, well,
It's the road type.
it's my understanding that they're more or less interchangeable
They
in
are.
terms of their use. Yeah.
There is a policy by LIMS that addresses how streets are named with their prefix at the end.
So are we able to ask them if road 1 is okay as drive and road 2 is okay as way and road 8 is okay as place?
Yeah, I think they're.
As per Andre's adjustment.
Oh, we haven't put it out yet to Sean.
Okay.
Let Sean answer the question.
Yeah, Sean, if you can answer
The question about the
road versus street.
driveway, just road and street, or driveway, street and place?
Those, yeah.
They have been checked, and there are slightly different situations where you might use place or way as opposed to street or road, and they were fine in terms of the provisions of those policies and the LINS guidelines about street naming. So it is fine to have that mix.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to move here?
So
Andre's
got an amendment to the resolution.
road 1, 2 and road 8.
A recommendation to the staff recommendation. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I wish.
Sorry, it's on screen. So Sean, can you see the?
They're all alternative.
They're all alternative names.
So can we just vote on it?
Yeah.
You moving it?
Yes, I'd like to move those,
I'd
please.
like to second it.
Okay. Moved by Andre, seconded by Debbie. All those in favor,
Can I
is there debate?
Can I make an amendment? Or not?
Right.
Amendment.
To any of those 3?
One of them. Road 4.
You got a problem with timber yard?
Not timber yard's fine.
Okay.
Which one?
Just number 4. Po'aka Road.
Yeah, so what do you want?
Substituting it with alternative name 3.48, Peka Peka.
And can I
What's
just
the relevance of the whole thing?
Because it's Andre.
Andre?
Are they? Yeah. All right, pick a pick. Yeah, pick a pick is a great idea.
It's cool, man.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No,
Road
no.
4.
Number 4. Pink Road.
Is that
what it means?
The pink one.
I think so.
Does that meet with your approval, Tyler?
You seem to look phenomenal.
So is this
Absolutely. Pick a pick is awesome. What a cool animal.
driveway, street or road?
Oh, so
Don't
what
care.
was that?
It says road there, so
We'll stick with
pick a
road.
pick a road.
With road, pick up
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah, so what was it?
1.5, 2.5, those in the other.
Po'aka number.
Drive
Was
if
it
you want.
an original?
The original.
Perch Way is quite funny.
Is it? Oh, if it's a cul-de-sac, can we change it to place?
Okay.
Right. That's Andre out.
I know you.
Road
No, we
4.
don't.
Hey, Faye, I'm just switching to another device. Can you just let that one in?
It's a
Yeah.
Can we change it to place?
If it is a dead end, then it kind
Because
of makes
it's
sense.
It is a
to be a
dead
place.
end.
It does make sense to be a place if it's a dead end.
Place. Pick up place.
Thanks for
That's fine.
highlighting that.
Pick
No.
up place.
Oh, staff advice.
Yeah, us.
Andrew, come in.
Sean?
I can answer that.
Oh, Andrew.
Don't confuse the issue.
Although it's not my report, we do have difficulty with no exit roads that have either road or street.
Yep.
Because people
Presume it goes somewhere.
logically think that they can go through it. It's a through road.
Yep.
And invariably we have to put up no exit signs as a result.
Yep.
So that from an operational perspective, and sometimes roads are severed. You know, we've had Cars Road and other roads like that, and Woodram, where they're split, and Wilson's Road and that. But where they actually don't go anywhere,
It's just a street.
and it still keeps the same name, then we can have had problems with that. So that would, from an operational perspective, it would probably be better called a place or
or another,
Place is good.
Excellent.
Just a question, for those, I haven't got the plan in front of me. Does that possibly, will that possibly be an extension or adjoining another development that might extend? No? No, so it's still dead end.
It's dead end.
So dead end, okay. Thank you, Andrew.
Can we please drive on? Can we please vote on
One
this?
decision.
Place.
2.5 hours, we made one decision, we're on place,
Right.
way, drive.
Okay,
So
now,
we have now Timberyard Drive,
Place is
Kirk
dead
Way, Long Finn Street, Pika Pika Place, Kohut, Kahakatu Street, Carving Street, Hallgrove Road, and Blue Grove Place.
Yes, correct.
Good.
okay.
Thank you, Bo.
want to pull it the change.
So no more debate, no more questions?
No, it's fine.
And Andre and Debbie happy to accept that change
Yes,
without
yes.
academic.
Excellent.
Reluctantly.
Right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
I don't.
Carry,
Reluctantly.
thank you. Thank you, Sean.
Well done, team. Next one.
You've still got one more.
Oh, you still got one more. Right.
Item 9.
Item 9, proposed road names 275 Sparks Road, Holesville.
Happy to move.
Happy to second.
Moved by Andre, seconded by Luke.
So,
Debate?
No.
no.
All those in favor say aye. Against? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'm
Sean.
happy
Well done,
to,
Sean.
let me just double check this.
Item number 10.
Happy to move.
Second.
Sorry,
Moved by
Charlie.
Luke,
Yeah.
seconded by Sarah.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
Happy to move item 11.
And what about 10?
It was item 10.
That was number
To
10.
move
Oh,
item
was it-
10
was it-
through 18.
No, it was on 9 on the thing.
We moved 9. and we moved to 10.
Oh, you mean we haven't, Faye hasn't caught up?
Can
Are you
you
able to
please?
put on the board?
You wonder.
Sorry.
Hang on, can you stop, please? Faye is still writing on her
Sorry.
notes, that's why it's not
all right.
on the screen. So if you just bear with us, so we have passed 9 and 10, we are
Staff
now
recommendations were passed on 9
9 and 10.
Mhm.
Yes,
Can you put
and
up
now we
number
are
11?
in item number 11.
And I'm happy to move item 11 as well.
Can we
Give others
just
a
slow
chance.
down a bit so that's fine.
Slow down. It's-
You want to move?
Right.
I'll second.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 11 is moved by Luke and seconded by Helen. No debate. All those in
No.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Now we move on to
Come to an
item
easy
number
one.
12,
Um,
Wigram Road and Hatton
question.
Road intersection. They are-
Madam Chair, can I please move the staff recommendation with one additional line? Reading, requests staff consider a footpath on the south side as part of the new footpath program.
Well, this is part of the development they're doing there, surely.
We can,
We expect other developers to do it, why not ourselves?
I agree,
Get to
We
the-
should still, I think putting it in is a good idea though.
if they can,
I wouldn't put any footpath programs in, because less footpaths get done in the footpath program.
yeah.
Do it as part of the development's
Andre,
being done.
can you
what about the
repeat
200K
that,
we saved?
please?
Or just, yeah, request that staff,
You two saved.
we can't make them do it.
We can.
Request that
Developer.
staff look to
Staff
construct
investigate.
a footpath on the south side, noting the board saving of $200,000.
Sorry, we're
Why
speed running.
not having the platform,
Yeah.
the raised platform?
Could we hear from? Yeah.
This is a complex issue, isn't it?
Sorry.
Well, it's not complex in that we need that footpath on the south side eventually.
No, but the whole issue's
Say
always
to
been
consider
complex.
Oh,
Can
Can we hear from David?
Can
Say to
we,
consider it.
Yeah.
can we hold off
We're waiting on
this for
staff.
a while?
Yep.
It might be.
Staff
Hang
is
on,
here
yeah.
now on the table,
David might speak to this.
and so welcome, David.
All right, thank you. My name is David, the transport project manager for the project. So I'm just firstly to answer the question of the footpath. So it was not in the previous design because currently there were no demand because there were no footpath. And we checked the heat map, there was no one using that. And also before, I think Mr. Cooper's question is a really good question, whether the developments should have access point. Before receiving Ms. Cooper's question, I do have talked to our parks team because the developments was developed by the parks team, and they confirmed there are no access point. So I think it's fine. Sorry, I'm not sure whether we can bring up the board agenda on 13th March. That plan has been approved by the board. So that plan, it shows a 5 meters wide green buffer, which consists of tall, dense planting and trees. It's approved by the board. 5 meters covered all the frontage of the developments from I got plan here. From 181 to 150.
Can I assist? The question here is we're going to need a footpath on the south side. How do we go about getting one and how do we word it in a resolution here today?
Okay, so, yeah. So our point is, the demand is really low, especially the access point in the future.
That's not the question. The
Yeah.
question is, well, we're going to need a footpath there eventually.
Yes.
How do we go about getting one? What do we need to put in a resolution?
It is not in our scope.
I understand that, and that's why I'm asking, how do we, we need a footpath there.
Yes.
How do we do it?
What am I to put in this resolution here today about getting a footpath along that road?
I couldn't answer the question for now because our scope doesn't include the footpath.
Okay.
And normally it's up to the developer to do the footpath.
We are the developer.
Yeah, exactly. The parks team is a developer.
Okay.
However, it's not required in the resource consent.
Okay, so
They may need changes of the resource consent, but that's
sorry, you don't need to change the resource consent for have a footpath on Woodram Road.
No.
But I can't answer the question. I have to talk to the parks team because they
no problem. Yeah.
initially it's for the developer to do the path.
Nice one.
And also we don't have the survey for that stretch of the road.
Understood.
So if it's required, there may be some for the delay for the construction.
Sorry, a footpath on Woodram Road does not need to delay the construction of this intersection.
But that means we can,
No, it does not. It's just-
whether we can do that later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it could be done later if there are demand.
Not if there's demand, you want to
But if you want to do it but if you want to do in one lot, we probably need to delay the construction. Otherwise, we can consider later if it's necessary. We can build
Do it all
the
at
path
once.
later.
Yeah, let's do it.
Save money, do it all at once.
Is that enough, Andre?
Yeah, just put noting no potential delays. If the footpath needs to be done after, then it's done after. Just like what's happening in Kings Ridge Road.
Money, doesn't
The
it?
footpath Woodram Road does not need to delay an entire intersection.
No, nor an entire development.
Yeah.
Let's
get it done before it can see
That
it.
resolution will just allow staff to come.
Yeah,
in
that's
by someone
great.
that's done either during or-
Yeah, cool, thank you.
We'll stay.
Yep,
So do you have any other questions, Andre?
no, that's great.
Mark?
It's good. No, I think they covered it.
Yeah.
I was basically say we need to find a way to do it, not
Yeah.
ask if we
All
can.
right, well, I've got a question. So in the proposed plan right now, the upgrades, the changes we're approving are the ones in red box, right?
Those are the changes since
The changes.
our last approval.
Yeah. So now compare that to the one that we approved in October 12th, 2023. And I just saw just some changes in terms of the landscaping from the plan. And I checked the resolutions at that time. It didn't include landscaping, although it was in the report that you were putting in 5 new trees and then you had those landscaping in the plan. But in this new plan, the landscaping is different. Is that going to be part of what we're approving, or do we have delegation to?
Landscaping,
What's the status of that?
for landscaping, we normally don't put in the wording. It don't show the plan. There are some minor changes, like the east-south corner.
Yes.
The left turn from Woodram Road into the new accessway, the landscaping's been removed because the corner has been widened. So there was no space for landscaping.
Yes, so the board does not have delegation to approve any landscaping there?
Let's show on the plan. I think that's
It shows on the plan, but-
let's show on the plan. So if the board approve of the plan, the landscaping show on the plan, but we don't have the wording in the
resolution.
So the board didn't approve any landscaping before. And we're not being asked to approve it, so we're in this rule.
All right, okay. Cool. That's cool. Anybody else have Any questions? No? Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Right, I need a mover.
I'll second it. You'll leave
Moved
it?
by Andre, seconded by Mark. Any debate? No?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Andre.
That's all right.
See, Andre.
Thanks, Andre.
Right, item number 13, subdivision adjacent roads, Glover's Road, Kennedy's Bush Road, and Candice Road.
No.
Happy to second.
Are there any questions? No? So moved by Debbie, seconded by Luke. No debate? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Thank you, Andy.
Can we
Oh,
move
that was
14, 15,
Andy.
and 17?
Right.
Can I move Hallsville Tennis Club?
Sorry, Madam Chair, I have a question. Are we able,
A question where?
are we able to move items 14, 15, and 17 together?
No,
No, it can't.
Okay.
Can I move?
So item number 14,
Can I move that?
no questions.
Happy to second.
Moved by Debbie, seconded by Luke.
What
No
is 14?
debates.
What is 14?
14 is Hallswell Tennis Club lease and court expansion.
Okay.
It's a very small part of their
Yeah.
asking.
No debate. And so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. Item number 15, Canterbury Riding for Disabled, proposed new lease.
I'll move that.
I'm happy to second.
We need to hear
Hang
from
on,
staff.
hang on, hang
Oh,
on.
we do?
Hang
Okay,
on,
we've got
please.
staff
Yeah.
here to present.
We just want to make a correction to the resolution. We've got the name wrong.
Oh,
Okay,
So
Name
if we-
of-
if we could just-
that's fine.
If
Of
we could just correct it
When
to
you
say,
correct
it.
as
Number,
just on the resolution.
Yeah, which one?
Resolution,
the name of the
Canterbury-
school.
resolution 2. So
resolution.
it grants the ground lease to Christchurch Group, New Zealand, Riding for Disabled Association.
So number 1 and number 2.
Oh, so replacing the word Canterbury with New Zealand.
Number 1 and number 2, thank you, yes.
Oh, it's Christchurch, right.
What did you call it?
The Christchurch Group, New Zealand, Riding for Disabled Association. That's the
Christchurch
full
Group,
name
New Zealand.
incorporated.
Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't change any of the recommendation though.
No,
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 that
just the
doesn't change
name.
anything.
Just the
Just
name.
the
Just
name.
double
Has to
check
be
again.
amended.
Puts it to the right organisation.
Same association.
Number
Want a
1.
Number 16 to go on three on
And.
it? Waipuna Park?
Yes, absolutely.
Do we have any questions on that?
No,
I'll be
No.
moving that.
no,
Rach.
just
Excellent.
move it.
Happy to,
New Zealand Riding
Second.
Association after the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I put my hand up, but I'm too quick.
So we've got
Mark.
Wyola Park, go for it.
Is it?
Mark, she's keen to second it.
Move, see.
I'll put it to the side.
Yeah.
Questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'll copy that.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks for that.
Does it need an ink on it? Just wondering,
What?
association ink?
No, he said just association, that's no incorporated?
Well, you can put ink, yeah, if you like.
Well, is it
Okay.
incorporated?
Is it
It is
incorporated?
incorporated.
It is incorporated.
Probably should be maybe.
Well, we've gone this far.
Just to be,
Might as
well,
well get it 100%.
make sure it's not legally challenged.
Yep.
Thank you to the remaining staff in the room.
Yeah.
Appreciate it as 7:15.
Might get to one of these meetings.
No, you won't.
Then
No,
I will, but just like.
they're like Debbie.
Apologies for that.
No worries. Thank you for bringing it up.
thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Okay,
patience.
so I need a mover.
Moved by
and-
Helen, seconded by
I
me.
second it.
Move, okay, hang on, wait for it. Okay.
Just change the-
Yes. Moved by Helen,
Oh, we're
seconded
on
by Lou,
Pedal to the middle now.
and no debate, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Now, we move on to item number 16, Wyola Skate Park Renewal Design
I'll
Approval.
move that second,
We've
whatever.
got Holly Moved by Mark, seconded by Hank.
In
And
favour.
debate, no.
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
It's an easy one.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Holly.
Thanks, Will.
I'd like to move item.
Item number
Nothing.
17, Hallswell Domain, Hallswell Cricket Club practice
I'll
nest
second it.
I'd like
renewal.
to move that.
So, moved by Debbie,
You
seconded,
can second it.
You can second it if you'd like.
Alright.
It's Hallsville.
seconded by Marie.
Yep.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. I just get carried away going through these items. And number 18, urban forestry planting plan for
That's
all
yours.
reserves.
I've got the
We got
question.
question.
Questions?
Okay, welcome, Toby.
Okay, so yes.
And we have a
Toby.
question from Helen.
Were there only 2 submitters on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Really? That's
Wow.
So
It's not that uncommon. So we had 80 people visit the website. We dropped letters to 20 households around. We put signs out. It's sometimes we get some, sometimes we don't.
Okay.
So I've got a map that I
It's
showed
a
where.
ex-state housing area, so I know it fairly well. It's quite a dark area, and you're putting a lot of trees in. How many trees are you actually putting in?
54.
How many?
54.
54. Well, it seems an overload to me.
No, it's still got open space.
Yeah.
We've tried to balance it.
Yeah, except
Did you door knock the area?
I've done it 1 year, but I haven't
'Cause
gone
that's the way
on
to
this occasion.
Engagement from elected members is to go and door knock the area.
All right, are you finished with your question?
Well, I guess we don't really know what people think, that they had the actual opportunity.
They did have the opportunity.
There was
We
a
did
sign
let
up.
it drop. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did signs.
Yeah, it's a huge number of trees to put in. So what would happen if you put in half of those?
Well, I mean, if you look at the planting that we've got, we're creating an avenue along the path. So that's, there's the planting down the middle. We have got that area to the side where we're planting, which is a slightly open area, but from the use of the park, when we talk to internal staff and how they see it used, we've left 2 big open spaces and we've left area around the hard surfaces as well.
Right.
I mean, we've got the Riccarton and Avonhead and Island. We've got the issue of houses are coming down with the trees. And then we're planting, and I mean, it's a deeper fill, but you are putting in trees.
Yeah,
when in fact we're cutting them down and
which is all the more,
subdivisions.
all the more reason why we need more trees in these areas.
I don't know if it's the right place.
There's some more, somebody else.
Had we?
The individual development, so trees, I mean, we've got a really hot future coming. As we develop in those high density areas, we're going to get a lot of reflective heat. I think by the time these trees get mature, we're expecting about an extra 60 days a year of temperatures over 25 degrees.
Okay.
In an urban area, we're looking at 30-degree plus. Those are the days you keep your curtains shut, you don't go outside. Having trees in a park, one, it creates a park where it's cooler for people to go in, but it also cools the surrounding area. So trees do become even more important as we start to intensify. Getting trees in is a challenge, but it's also important, particularly as we start to lose that canopy on those residential properties as they develop.
So you're
I
all
won't
done
move it.
with your question, Helen?
No, I'm finished. Thank
You're
you.
finished. Luke?
You mentioned that 20 litres got dropped.
It was all of the properties all the way around the outside. I
So
don't know
kind of
how many.
33.
It'd be 33. I
Okay.
never headed the exact number. I just
rough count.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that was cool. That was my only question.
Thank you. Thank you, Toby.
Happy to move.
Right.
Happy to
It's
move.
moved by Mark, seconded by Luke.
Other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll let you move it.
I'll move it. Mark will second it.
Yeah.
They want-
Local member.
Right, okay.
I like the idea of more trees. Great idea.
Yeah.
Yep. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
I'll abstain, thank you.
Do you want that recorded,
Yes.
Helen? Thank you, Toby.
No problem.
Great.
Enjoy your
Thank
evening.
you.
Yep, thank you,
Thank you.
Toby.
Thank you.
Good
Now
work.
we move on to the board area report. Hayley.
Yeah,
a smaller area report. Obviously, the team's been really busy assessing strengthening communities applications. Some exciting things in there though around the Matasiki Play space and obviously the Upper Riccarton War Memorial Park. So looking forward to Saturday and the opening for that. There were some questions around the community patrols reports, so about what some of the descriptions that are put into the report. So I don't have the answers here, but because obviously the patrols themselves write those reports. But once we have those answers, I'll share it with yourself and the rest of the board. And then I have a pending action from Tyler around some information on the high-risk reporting and how the numbers, so specifically for Riccarton, feed into the I guess ongoing maintenance for rubbish and graffiti. So that is still pending, but I haven't forgotten about it.
All right, well, thank you, Lainey. Any questions? Mark?
I'm just picking up on the Matatiki Play Space. I see it's due to start work on site on the 18th of August, which is, I guess, in the coming days. Is there a start work notice going out around that one? One that I might have missed. Be quite happy to tell people it's going to start.
Well, I'll follow up.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll get one out.
Yep. And the other one I had a question on, some of your neighbours. So some of your neighbours, I see it says there that it closed on the 10th of August. Did we, as part of our strengthening communities, extend that period? Yep. Good. Because it worked. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy to move.
Happy to second.
Right. Area report moved by Sarah, seconded by Lou. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Okay. So that's done. Item number 20, elected members information exchange. So, anybody want to start?
Well, I'll start with some sort of good news for Hornby, but bad news for Riccarton, and probably mediocre news for Hallswell. I don't think, have you been sent the medium density plan? Could that be sent out to board members, please? It outlines each area and how much medium density is going to be around the high density, basically. And Riccarton's taking the load, in my view. I think Hornby members have done some work and come off reasonably well. And Hallswell still has quite an area which they probably haven't been expecting. So I don't, people up to at this stage, people are asked to make comments to Ike or John Higgins or Mark Stevenson. And Tyler and I have got a meeting tomorrow. This will be on Riccarton, organised by John Higgins, which is surprising. So we've been invited in rather than having to approach him. But Hallsville has quite a chunk taken out for medium density that you probably hadn't expected. In Hornby's,
Council might have been happy with it.
They might be happy or might not. I doubt it.
But it's only going to 3 stories.
3 stories.
3 or 4.
But I got information on that. It's 11 metres. It tends to be 3 plus a roof, a steep roof. So I've checked on that. So it's not 4 as of right, but 11 metres, 3 plus a high roof. I'll send you around the yes, I've been asking some questions, but it's not good. And the reason that they've got to do it is that when they went to their independent hearings panel, they worked on a medium growth model. That's the staff. The minister, and it's the minister's problem, he has directed councils to work on a high growth model.
Plus 20%.
Plus 20%. And so the staff have got to work on that, which means whereby we might have been able to avoid a medium density, they've got to find 65,000 households.
Almost 66,000 actually.
66, yes. So they have to find more. And this is why there's now red tracks for medium density. But Hornby would say has probably come out well.
Yep, I can speak to why Hornby's come out well, because when we did our workshopping on it,
Yes.
my instruction was, can we please start at the centre and work out so that we can have minimal effect in the extremities like Hornby?
Yes.
Because the people of Hornby are grumpy enough with the high density already. And by going with what they were proposing, they would have been extremely grumpy. So we've got a fraction of what was being proposed.
I know.
So it's a matter of having the right voice.
I know, at the right time.
Yes, I know. We've done pretty well. And I think staff have done a great job. And the final solution, I think, will be good for the city in the fact that we're not going to let the genie out the bottle and do medium density everywhere.
No, that's the other option, isn't it? So it's not a good option, but it's better than the bad option. Yes.
And following on from that, Helen, as you know, in our submission, there's two concerns I have about intensification. Apart from the general concerns, the one of them was the fact that we're an earthquake-prone city. So out of the 5 cities that have been asked to intensify, we are the only city that is on the earth is very earthquake prone. The second,
which the panel,
which we did
pay any
I know,
regard to, no.
I know,
That's right.
which we did put in it. We elaborated in our,
and other people made submissions on it too.
The second thing is that there's no external escape route from any of these high rises, and I did question that with consent staff. And they said that they were abiding by the building code, but I believe that the building code needs to change for an earthquake-prone city, because at the end of the day, if we have a massive earthquake and it pancakes, how are these people going to get out, because there's no external route? So they are two concerns that I have anyway.
I know.
All right, thank you, Helen and Debbie. Luke, you've got something to share.
Yeah, so I attended the Glow Disco with Councillor Peters and also community member Cody over here. And it was great to see the GHRA hosting an event. It was really good. It's obviously covered in the area report as well. The Riccarton Community Garden, I attended with Debbie, and that was great to celebrate the work of the team there. And today I attended, well, I was a little bit late to it, but the Taggart Place planting off Middle Park Road through where our cycleway goes through. Excellent work by the locals there, organising with Millie, one of the park rangers. Absolutely phenomenal, especially to watch Millie at work today with, we had 30 school students there as well, helping plant, and she was phenomenal. And obviously this weekend we have the opening of the War Memorial Park in Upper Riccarton, and that should be fantastic. I've already been and had a look. It's a great space. And yeah, hopefully see the majority of board members there.
Water fountain?
I think the water fountain is pretty good. We went and tested it, Cody and I.
Tastes good.
As a contribution to the area. So yeah, it was great.
Drinking fountain?
Yes, it's a drinking fountain there.
Is it unchlorinated drinking fountain?
Oh, I don't think so.
You can't do that.
Well, it could have been another filling station.
It could have been.
You know, could have been a third filling station.
Hopefully.
All right.
But yeah, that was it. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Community Service Awards have been ongoing presentations, so thank you for all those members who have attended and are intending to attend more. And thank you to staff for organizing some of those as well, and the presentations. So just a reminder to please update the spreadsheet if you are wanting to, please indicate your attendances or apologies.
Coming tomorrow?
Let me know if you need me for any.
Right, yeah. Yes, you're not busy. Yes. Oh, wait.
And we've got one tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
Fantastic.
Afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, I told you about it earlier.
1:30 start, 2 o'clock.
So 1:30 for a 2 o'clock start?
For a 2 o'clock start, yes.
And you're presenting.
I am talking about this. Yes, all right, okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay, closing karakia, please.
Got there in the end, team.
Disappeared. It's gone. Okay. Unahia.
Kia Watia, Kia Mama, Te Rau, Inana, Te Waiora, Te Ara, Takata, Waiara, E Rongo, Wakaeria, Ake Kiruna, Kia Tina, Tina, Uye, Taiki.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Along with
Wow.
You made the right call.
That was a marathon?
That's a long, oh, we are still online.
Yeah.
Can you please?
They can enjoy my free dancing.
No, Faye is turning it off. Debbie.
They do. Wait for it to hear.
Okay, can I